benefit the country in terms of its preparedness plan. We want to talk to the hunters and people who deal with bushmeat and others, that they should, take precautionary measures. And people who keep exotic animals without permit from wildlife. People who are keeping monkeys and other things in their houses, in their homes, without taking precautionary, letters of authorization from wildlife. These are the people that we talk to.
Lands and Natural Resources Minister Mr. Samuel Jinapor has refuted allegations that the government is indiscriminately selling public lands. Addressing the media on the state of Ghana's public lands, Mr. Jinapor said the lands that are alleged to have been sold under the current administration were granted to private entities years before the Akufo-Addo administration came to power. Mr. Jinapor mentioned the land which hosted the Embassy of Bulgaria, a parcel of land belonging to the prison service at Roman Ridge, and the Parks and Gardens land at Cantonment as examples of lands that had been granted to private entities before the Akufo-Addo government.
One of such lands is the land which hosted the Bulgarian embassy. This land forms part of a larger parcel of land acquired by the state in 1920 by a certificate of title dated 6 July 1920. The land was, however, granted to one Theophilus Kofi Leighton as far back as 1977 for a term of 99 years, commencing from 1st April 1974. This lease will expire in the year 2073. Until then, government has no direct control whatsoever over the use of this land. Then there's the issue of land belonging to the prison service at Roman Ridge, which was leased as far back as 2005, and which matter has gone to court, and the court has delivered judgment on the matter. What is the role of the Akufo-Addo government in the land granted to a private developer as far back as 2005? Another allegation that has been made as evidence of state capture by the Akufo-Addo government is the Parks and Gardens land at Cantonment. This land was acquired in 1894 and granted to the predecessor of the Department of Parks and Gardens in 1952. The land was, however, leased to a company named Wuntirim Company Limited on 29th November 2016, long before the current government came to power. And those who were in power when the land was sold in 2016 have turned around to falsely accuse the Akufo-Addo government of selling this parcel of land. Again, there are allegations that this government has sold some bungalows belonging to the Judicial Service in Cantonments to a private developer. These bungalows in question were, however, sold as far back as 13th July 2015 to a company named Frames Oil Company Limited, following an approval granted by the then Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Nii Osa Mills, on 2nd June 2015. Is it therefore not surprising, ladies and gentlemen, that the very people who supervise the sale of this property to Frames Oil Company Limited will turn around and accuse the Akufo-Addo government of state capture? For the Du Bois Center, the Lands Commission, the manager of public lands and the repository of records of land transactions has no pending application for the transfer of this land. For the avoidance of doubt, the land in question, as we speak, remains in the name of the Du Bois Center. That land has not been sold. The above examples clearly shows that the allegations of state capture and the narrative that this government is indiscriminately selling public lands are all palpably false, without merit, and obviously actuated by political considerations given the heated political season we find ourselves.
Meanwhile, the Member of Parliament for North Tongue, Mr. Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, has challenged the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Samuel Jinapor, over his denial of the sale of some state lands by the NPP government. The North Tongue legislator rejected the land minister's position, accusing the government of being complicit in the act. He has therefore dared the lands minister to promptly publish a list of all public lands.
We have come to the firm conclusion and a very informed one, that the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government is deliberately refusing to disclose the status of all public lands in our country because they are complicit, because they know that when the full facts emerge, they will be exposed for the massive land grab. We condemn government's inability for more than 2 years since Parliament demanded a compilation, a disclosure, the full data of all public lands. It is totally unacceptable. And it shows that the Lands Ministry, the Lands Commission, they have derelicted. They are not properly carrying out their constitutional mandate. But even worse, they are clearly complicit. So individuals, miscreants in the system, collaborating with unscrupulous elements in government, are selling public lands as private lands, and they are pocketing the money. The money is not coming to the national kitty. That is how terrible this situation is. So before close of year, we will insist on receiving the full list of public lands vested in the care of the president on our behalf, because these lands belong to us. And any directive, we heard the lands minister say yesterday that cabinet has now taken a decision, the president has instructed that nobody should sell public lands without the knowledge of the president. Is that not itself an admission that a lot of these public lands are being sold without the knowledge of the president? Violation of Article 257. Confirmation of what the sole inquirer has found out, what Justice Ofori-Atta has found out.
Let's remain a while longer in Parliament, but on a different matter. The Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, says the corporation subleased some of its land and used the proceeds to defray its legacy debts and monies owed retirees for their long service benefits. The DG of GBC, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, who appeared before the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament on Thursday, August 15, was answering questions on the alleged sale of GBC lands in Tamale for the construction of a China mall, land encroachment, undocumentation and procurement issues.
The Crown land is currently being subleased, not leased, and the transaction is ongoing. We had to seek approval to use it to raise funds to pay what had been outstanding for GBC and its retirees, what you normally call long service awards. So we were given approval to sublease and raise money to pay out these, I don't want to say legacy debt, but that is what they are. Chairman, debt that have been standing in our books for many years. And that is what we are doing. It is currently ongoing. They don't have specific figures to give now, but the transaction is not concluded.
I want to know from the MD whether he is aware that GBC lands in Tamale have been leased for the building of a Chinatown mall.
At least what I know about what he's referring to was a processes that happened in Tamale, and when we found out that our interest was affected, we negotiated a certain benefit for corporate GBC. And so it was something done irregular. We confronted them, we threatened to go to court, and we went to sit down and we negotiated, and they built 4 staff housing units for GBC, 2 bedrooms each. And as we speak, our staff are enjoying these facilities.
As Ghana's health facilities grapple with a critical shortage of blood needed to treat patients with various medical conditions, including accident victims, the role of corporate organizations in bridging this gap has become increasingly vital. The National Insurance Commission, NIC, has stepped up To address this challenge with its annual insurance industry blood donation campaign, the 2024 campaign has since been launched.
The campaign is a collaborative effort between key industry players, including the Ghana Insurers Association (GIA), the Insurance Brokers Association of Ghana (IBAG), the Chartered Insurance Institute of Ghana (CIIG), the ECOWAS Brand Card Insurance Scheme, the National Association of Ghana Insurance Agents (WICA RE), and the Ghana Insurance College (GIC), and spearheaded by the National Insurance Commission (NIC). The blood donation campaign is focused on mainly saving the lives of pregnant women, children with cancer, and accident victims. At the launch of the 2024 edition in Accra, the Acting Commissioner of Insurance, Mr. Michael Ando, pleaded the Commission's continuous supply of blood to the National Blood Bank. He commended organizations and individuals for prioritizing the annual blood donation campaign and called on all insurance companies, brokers, agents, and the general public to support the exercise.
The regional offices of the NIC, together with all the regional offices and branch offices of insurance and broking companies across the country, and the National Blood Service regional coordinators have put in place various arrangements in their respective regions to ensure that members of the general public also come out to donate. The entire exercise is expected to come to an end in November 2024.
The Chief Executive of the National Blood Bank, Dr. Shirley Owusu-Ofori, also encouraged Ghanaians to engage actively in blood donation activities to help improve the health sector.
This occasion marks once again a significant milestone in our collective efforts to promote the culture of voluntary blood donation. Not just promoting the culture, but also ensuring that there's availability of safe blood for all who need it.
The Deputy Chief of Staff, Medical Services at the Ghana Armed Forces, Major General Raymond Ewusi, also encouraged Ghanaians to be health conscious rather than waiting until there is an emergency.
In giving blood, you give a part of yourself, trusting that it will save a life. It is a powerful act of solidarity that transcends all barriers. As we commence this campaign, I urge all of you to remember that the need for blood is constant, and so must be our efforts to donate.
Since its inception, the insurance industry has been recognized as the overall best in the corporate donor category for blood donation over the last 3 years, contributing a total of 5,019 pounds of blood. This contribution has been instrumental in saving lives.
Department of the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations are back to work after they were locked out of their office following the expiration of their rent. The department has over the past years operated from a rented space in the NDK building as efforts are underway to get them a permanent place. The frustrated workers are worried that no formal communication has come concerning the way forward.
This is the old office complex of the Department of Labour, a dilapidated structure which did not support the operations of the unit at the time. In May last year, and with support from the World Bank, the department was relocated to its current space, the NDK building, opposite the Accra Sports Stadium. After over a year of rent, the department was evicted for non-payment of rent. Some members of staff who spoke to the news team on anonymity say there was no official communication from their superiors concerning the way forward. The stranded workers had to return home, waiting for the next line of action. The workers are also appealing to the Minister of Employment and Labour Relations to hand over an office complex currently being constructed in the name of the department to them. Meanwhile, a letter cited by GBC News and signed by the Chief Director of the Ministry of Employment indicate that plans were underway to pay the rent. A letter written to managers of the property assured them that payments will be made by August 25, 2024. The Labour Department is one of the major arms of the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations. It exists to promote the enforcement of labour laws and regulations and maintain industrial harmony. The department plays an important role in the provision of administrative data pertaining to the labour market. It also collects and disseminates information accurately on job seekers, employers, job vacancies and skills demand.
On the foreign front, Sudan's Public Health Agency has recorded what it says is the first case of a contagious new variant of Mpox. This is the first case outside Africa. The infected person contracted it during a stay in an African country experiencing a major outbreak of Mpox Clade 1. The news comes just hours after the WHO declared that the outbreak of Mpox is a public health emergency of international concern. The Swedish Public Health Agency says Clade 1 is likely to be linked to a higher rise of a more severe cause of disease and higher mortality, which is more commonly spread through close contact within households and often to children, whilst the milder variant Clade 2 is mainly spread through sexual contact. The highly contagious disease, formerly known as monkeypox, has killed at least 450 people during an initial outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. It has now spread across parts of Central and East Africa, and scientists are concerned about how fast a new variant of the disease is spreading and its high fatality rate. That's it in this package of news, but we'll bring you the winning numbers for some Lotto deals now. Alpha Lotto winning numbers for Thursday XL. The winning numbers are 72, 47, 37, 3, and 67. Again, Alpha Lotto winning numbers for Thursday XL, 72, 72, 47, 47, 37, 37, 3, and 67, 67. Those were the winning numbers for Thursday XL. Next is the weather report. And our chief forecaster from Ghana Met is on the line joining us with some details. Good morning, Felicity. Thank you for making the time. Even though the temperatures appear to be on the high side, it feels very cold in most parts of Accra. What should we expect in terms of weather across the country today?
Good morning, Selma, and thank you so much for reaching out to Ghana Meteorological Agency. Yes, the season in which we are, temperatures are expected on the mild side in terms of the field, because we are having upwelling over the ocean, bringing in cold winds that invade most portions of the West Africa sub-region. For today, Friday, we expect it to still remain cloudy, dull this morning over the entire country. We expect some rain and thunder clouds that is drifting in from Togo, the northern portions of Togo, into Burkina Faso. It's going to induce some cloudiness over their area and some showers this morning into the afternoon and throughout the day. So those in the upper east, those in the upper west and part of northeast should expect some rain during the forecast period for today. The OT region too is also on our radar in the afternoon for some showers. Greater Accra, Central, Western and part of Ashanti, Eastern will also have some light rain this morning or drizzle. In the afternoon, the sun will also shine on us briefly, mixed with the cloudy situations. For the state of the sea to still remain rough, so we are anticipating and cautioning the fisher folks to be careful. No thunderstorms clouds are over the ocean, but then the state, that's the tides, the current, will be rough, so they should take precautions. Water Lake, those around the Afram Plains and its environs, is pretty cool for fishing, but then the night times and the morning times, we expect misty and foggy conditions that will affect their area, so they also need to be careful. For tomorrow, Saturday, which is going to be outdoor activities for most of us across the country. Those that will be traveling at dawn hours, we are advising that they should do so with caution because we are anticipating widespread mist and foggy conditions over most areas for southern Ghana, which will affect visibility. So they should take their precautions. If you are traveling towards the eastern region, Ashanti, Bono, Ahafo, and its environs, central and western region, even Volta region, around Anyawase, Pekichito areas, please take precautions so that you don't overspeed. If your car developed a challenge on the road, please try as much as possible to park it at a safer side. And rain is also still in the forecast for the north and some few areas over the southern sector. Sunday is pretty cool for any outdoor activities. We expect it to be a bit drier than today and tomorrow.
Very detailed update of the weather and what we should expect for the weekend. Very grateful to you and the team at the Ghana Meteorological Agency for the great work. And this is where we wrap up GTV Breakfast News. So on the show today, we're expecting conversation on digitalization and the ads and ad nots. The pros and cons of digitalization is what we'll be discussing in our Tech Corner today. The ladies will be sitting with me to look at all the stories that's making their rounds in the newspapers and elsewhere. We have a conversation with Tobinco Pharmaceuticals Limited. We are hitting the theaters and looking at an upcoming event that you should not miss. And when we sit down in our relationship corner, we'll be talking about some of the costly mistakes you may be making in your marriage. So grab your notebooks and join us then. This is Breakfast on GTV. We'll be back.
Live from GBC Studio One, this is The Breakfast Show.
Morning, it's 6:32. You are watching GTV Breakfast. My name is Kafui Day, and today we're looking at the pros and cons of digitalization. My guest is David Jedu. He's with Cyber One Defense Communication. And David, good to see you, brother.
Blessed.
How are you?
Oh, managing.
All righty. Yeah. Fighting some small cold.
Yeah, exactly. It's
not easy. Protecting yourself and all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
We like it. You're a health conscious guy.
Yeah.
Before we go into digitalization, tell us about this live cyber threat map.
All right, thank you and good morning to our viewers. So, we would take some few seconds to go through these. As usual, we always show you this live threat map just to tell you that whatever you are doing on the space, I mean, picking up your mobile phones, coming on the internet, moving within the cyberspace, there are threats around. So you could see this morning that there are so much threats online. So you could see exploit being developed around. We have here Polygon here. We have, so if you click on some of them, you see some of the type of the malware trend, right? So banking Trojans, botnet, crypto miner, mobile, ransom, it's and their percentage, right? So that is what is it happen right here. So yeah, so you can just click anywhere, it close for you. Okay, so let's close it like that. So that's it. Yeah, so that's Togo.
Data available.
So you want to go to Ghana?
I want to go to Ghana.
Yeah, this
okay,
Nigeria.
This is happening in Nigeria. What's
so
happening?
You see Nigeria, look at their banking Trojan. So if you're in Nigeria, what you have to know is that if you are banking and you want to download apps for banking apps, you have to be careful because a Trojan is a malware that mimics a legitimate software. And here it's mimicking a legitimate bank app. So you have to be careful because it's 7.2, it's on a rise. And botnet here,
it's the highest.
Yes, 24%. And botnet means that affected computers. So that means that there are a lot of affected computers that are being used to attack people. You know, you have crypto miners, you're into cryptography. And yeah, so you wanted to go to Ghana.
I need to find Ghana, man.
Ghana should be somewhere. No?
Togo.
No, come again.
Ghana. Okay, so.
Oh, look at it. 9.7 for banking Trojan. So that should tell us that Ghana here, if you are downloading a banking app, you should be very careful. That's why I always say that anything about finance, money, banking, always verify from your bank
before
where you can get your official app. How does it look like? Because if you go to bank, if you go online to just Play Store and type maybe DK Bank or any bank, you could see a lot of those apps. If you are not careful, you may download a Trojan.
Okay.
So
the most common threats are botnets.
Yeah, botnet. Yeah. You see, and it is because there are a lot of affected systems around and being used to attack. You know, so that is it. And well, mobile is there. And this guy is shooting up
ransomware. What is ransomware?
Ransomware, holding up your files, your systems, or your informations for ransom.
Okay.
So possibly this morning you try to go online, download something, and the file sits on your computer, and all that you could see next is that all your files has been encrypted. You can't have access to your own files. And then there's a note left behind saying that before you can get access to your own files, pay this amount of money. And this money you cannot pay through the bank for you to track them. You pay through a cryptocurrency. And that is where it is difficult to track them. So ransomware, I believe that as a country, we should look at how best we will fight this. So we're Cyber One Defense, we are developing a solution for a ransomware attack where people can be safe with that.
Okay, so that's Ghana.
Yeah, that's Ghana.
And this is all linked to digitalization, which is what we are talking about today.
Exactly.
Break it down for the regular JSS boy or girl.
Yeah,
what is digitalization?
Thank you very much, Kav. It has been in the news for a while now. I've been joining conversations around digitalization. And when we talk about digitalization, it's simple. It's a means or the process of converting whatever we used to do manually into the internet or onto the space, onto the digital world. So those times when you're going to the office, you take a pen and paper, you sign in the time you come to work and the time you leave. You write it down. But now there's a system that when you go, you just put your finger on it and it just reports you and do all those for you. It's a digital world. Those times, you remember, to get money from your phone, it's through the bank. You have to go and queue. But now you can do all from your mobile phone, digitalization. You know that today, if maybe you can't join service, you can join service on your phone, digitalization. So the way computing, the technological ecosystem has been able to make easier for you to access and to do things. That's digitalization. And you could see that it's affecting every part of our life. So digitalization simply means the process of converting whatever we do around the physical things onto the space for you to be able to have it or do it easily. So that is in the big picture, that's what we are looking at. But the conversations around this is that digitalization, we should know that, yes, the government has its part and the private side too has their part, right? So anytime you hear digitalization, I believe now the conversation has only been around some few people, digitalization. So this person is preaching about digitalization, then we tag, no, digitalization for a country to grow as where we are now, digitalization will help. And the point here is that every time and its own evolution. I remember when coming up, I remember watching you, Who Wants to Be Rich. I was watching it on that Etikopo TV. But now I can't see those Etikopo TV again. There has been a revolution whereby you're talking about smart TV, TAT TV. So after
TV on your phone.
TV on your phone. And where, you know, so now talking about revolution where things are changing. So the way we do things are now changing, have changed. And that is what we are looking into.
You talked about public and private. Let's look at some of the public platforms that make use of digitalization. I'm sure you've put them up on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. So when you come here, Ghana.gov, right? So here you're talking about Ghana Revenue Authority. They have digitalized their systems. Passport, right? Getting your passport. Let me even start with this one because this is a very popular one. GPS.
GhanaPostGPS.com.
Yeah, GhanaPostGPS.com. So you see now, we all know how when you now want to visit somebody, you can just go to the person's house using the GPS, right? And it has become very easy navigating and getting to people. So this is a system that we had those time house address. And I can't even remember my house address those time, something. But now with the GPS, you just put it inside, it's easy, and it takes you there, and it's integrated on a map. Yeah. It takes you there, but those time your house address was not even on a map.
Exactly.
You can't get there.
And then you had a situation of having to give descriptions to your... So I remember once a friend of mine, he said, oh, I live in Jolu. Okay. You enter from the opposite the church, just count the speed bumps. There are 7 speed bumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next house is my house.
That's great.
On the day the man was coming, they started doing repairs on the speed bumps. So he counted the speed bumps and got somewhere else because some of them had been scattered. The plantain seller behind the abobo, whatever, under the whatever neem tree, all that stuff is gone now.
And one too was on social media. I think the guy was looking for the psychiatric hospital or something, and he asked the man, and the man was looking around, went down, picked some rubbish, and know that, oh, now this is the place. But if you had it on your phone, you won't talk to anyone.
You just do your thing.
So this is digitalization.
So this is digitalization for locations.
For locations. Okay. Now we have these ones. The GHIPS.
GIPS.
Yeah. Right, so for payment, for interoperability, all those systems has been now integrated. Now, if you're looking at the fintech community, they are really coming into it very well, whereby now we can easily do transactions, interbanks and all those.
So all these banks are linked to this GIPS system?
Are linked
UMB,
together.
Zenith, ABSA, Access, ADB.
They are linked together.
Apex, Bank of Africa, Bank of Ghana. Yeah. They're all there.
So that's why now on your smart app, you can just go there and make transactions being sent to other banks whilst not even going there.
Okay, so this is the, I saw it somewhere, Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement Systems Limited, aka GIPS.
Yeah, GIPS.
So financial transactions using
it has really solved a big problem, and that means that now we are kind of digitalized. So, and this has really helped a lot. And let's come here to our popular, this is where, Ghana Card.
Yes.
Ghana Card.
Yeah.
Ghana Card. Ghana Card too has really also come in to really help,
It's still loading.
It's still loading.
Ghana Card.
Let's go to Ministry of Communication and e-Transform. Right, e-Transform. So here they would able to, so Ghana has been a pioneer in Africa telecommunication sector, leading the region in marketing realization, segregation, and serving as a hub for a lot. So this is what the ministry too is also doing, supporting businesses in that regard. So these are some of the projects being done, and Almighty, I think this is one of the hub for the country, because when it comes to tax, I think every country, most countries relied on tax for development. A tour, so a tour here. It's not about the other tour I'm talking about tax, you know. So this is a platform where they have taken, you know, the kind of they have taken, you know, some people are heavy. You know, because, you know, tax is a tour in tree.
Yes.
And people take it for, the other way around.
What is the other one? You brought yourself. You brought yourself. What do you mean? Why are you sorry for? I mean, I'm just here doing my this thing. You know? What is the other one? Oh, you want the commercial break?
We will talk about that later.
Okay, is it behind? Is it the buttocks?
Yes, yes. So it's a tree way, you know. So it's like
we have to investigate why the tree word for buttocks is the same as tax. But we'll come to that later.
I think the tree people have, I think the spellings are different.
Okay, all right.
So,
let's get back to digitalization.
Digitalization, please. So when it comes to GRA tax, you know, those times, if you're a business owner, a company, filing your taxes and these things, you know how it has been. Paperwork and other things. We are there, you could see that the day they say they are going to audit a company, that's the day the company will bend. We have seen it, you know. But now, making it digitalized, I remember I can pay it on my phone. My portal, I just put in my code and I can make my tax payment. So this is a way to solve a problem, but integrate it onto the digital ecosystem. So these are some of the things. So I want us to, let's pay much attention here to some of today's program is about all these things. Do we have benefit? Do we have some of disadvantages, the pros and cons of these? You know, the point here is that it could all be good, but there are some bad side of it. But let's look at this. So we're looking at, when it comes to digital infrastructure, you said the bedrock of Ghana's digital infrastructure, digital transformation is robust infrastructure. This encompasses several key initiatives.
So we're expanding internet access.
Yeah, so
we're developing data centers.
So when you're talking about, as a country, I hear all people talking about digitalization, but there are some fundamentals that we need to look into. That is expanding internet access, we are talking about communities in Ghana here. When you post government workers, they don't want to go. Why? Because they will be deprived from having access to social media. Why? Because internet access is very bad. Even calling is bad, talking about streaming.
Yeah, people climbing on trees to make calls.
And we are also making a national asset or national things digital. So that means that we are depriving those areas from having access to what we are doing. Yeah. So if we are talking about digitalization, where the government, where the private sectors, our focus should also go into expanding internet access. Not only expanding internet access, making it also very easy for people to afford it. Affordability. Yeah. And I think that this conversation is still ongoing, and I don't want to talk much about that. So
Tech in Tree and all those guys.
Yeah, Tech in Tree is really pushing that. And it's a good drive. It's a good drive. We need to push that, right? And developing data centers.
What's a data center?
For harvesting data, caching our data. Remember what happened some few months ago about fiber cable cutting and all those things. Yeah. You know, if you have our own data centers, we cache our own content locally. All these things may not be affecting us. You know what happens, is that you have servers sitting somewhere in South Africa. I just want to make this very basic for everyone to understand.
Make it.
Yeah. We have servers that are being, your content that you are doing is being hosted on a bigger server, like a computer sitting somewhere. That is the storage of it. This server is sitting somewhere in South Africa, and you are here. Just imagine the distance and the amount of data you use to reach that server for your content. Guess what? If you have that service here in your country, you know that the distance will be very short. So then the data will not use that much. The latency, the speed, it will be fast. And that's all about 5G too. That if you look at the masking systems and these things, some people are not able to be browse fast, or they get delays when you are doing Zoom conference on TV.
Delays.
There's a delay. Why? Because maybe Zoom's, their content, their cachings are not here. It's somewhere, so you have to resource to it using those submarine cables and things.
So are we making the effort to host our data here?
Yeah, I think there has been conversations going on. Some are doing it, but sometimes these things are policies, Calf. Okay. You have these big tech companies coming in. You instruct them, if you don't do it, to give you 2 years, leave our country.
So
they know they are making money. They will do it. Right.
So more benefits of digitalization?
Yes, so that is it. And promoting cybersecurity measures. We showed you the threat map where you saw Ghana here, banking Trojans. Why? Because now banking has become very easy for people to access on their mobile phones. And we are saying that go and download the app. But are we talking about their safety? We talk about one of the biggest things that has happened to us in terms of digitalization, mobile money interoperability, mobile money services, where everything has been synchronized. You can pay Momo and all those things. Are we talking about the safety of the people using it, the users? So cybersecurity measures are very important. Okay. We need to not only setting the policies, making sure that people are obeying the policies. You have some penalties levels. Aside that, to educating people, creating awareness about that. So that is it. So when it comes to digital literacy in this, we need to have a digital literacy. If you are talking about digitalization today in the country, you should have a digital literacy. Understand it. Still, people don't understand the CAF. I will tell you that there have been so much good systems developed, but not being used. Because the person who uses it doesn't understand it, or they are too baby. He has no boycotted it. So educate programs, educational programs like what we do every Friday here, public awareness campaigns, those town hall meetings that we are doing when we are going for campaign elections, that's when I see a lot of gatherings. Same when you get power, those gatherings can be used for education, right? That is my opinion, right? So we have that. So we spoke about that, developing initiatives. Then digital government services, improved efficiency, right? These things are there to improve efficiency, but sometimes these systems are developed. They don't want to use it because somebody wants to, find a bypass, enhance accessibility. Digital economy under the digital digitalization. We have e-commerce growth curve. Today, I have seen a lot of youth doing their own business. Now, a lot of people are business owners, even when they are working with other people.
Are they paying a tour? Tax?
Are
they paying tax?
That one, maybe, let's call the GI people to find out. Okay. If they don't pay, there are indirect taxes that everyone pays. Okay. Yes, so, but I don't know, but, okay, the mobile money revolution, right? So now the mobile money, here we pay tax on mobile money.
Of course. Anytime you send, you are buying stuff and people are telling you, add the charges. Add the charges. You want to send 100, they say said 101 because they don't, because if you're going to withdraw it,
and they are making a lot on that too.
Yeah.
So and digital entrepreneurship.
Okay.
A
lot of people are running their businesses online.
Yeah. So we come to digital society. So affordable technology. And digitalization, there's affordable technology, digital literacy, public access. So we are looking at all these things.
So it looks like there are lots of pros, but what are the cons? What are the downsides of digitalization?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The first one is the rural areas are always affected.
So they are cut off.
They are cut off.
Limited access.
Limited access.
How about privacy and attacks?
Yeah, so
we started with attacks on this show.
Yes. So your privacy. The point here is that when it comes to the digital ecosystem, there's no your privacy is not 100% guaranteed. But always, when it comes to privacy issues, there's always an option. Privacy is an option. Security is an option. So there's always a button away from you to click to ensure kind of privacy. So that is there for you. So we are looking at where people are deprived. And also, so one of the challenges that we are also having here is the fundamentals are not that strong. But we keep developing applications for digitalizations.
Give me an example.
Example here is that maybe if We have, I don't want to mention attack a minute, but we have solutions developed. I hear solutions where you can pay your trustee distance on your phone. So right now, if I'm going to pay and I don't have internet,
how do you pay?
Or even I don't have access, smartphones are expensive to buy. How do I use such service? You understand? Because now to use such services, you need better smartphone.
So we need better access, cheaper internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when access is reduced, internet is expensive. Those are some of the things that will prevent you from getting digitalization.
So what we sit here, one of the problems we have in digitalization is, I think the infrastructure should be, they should look into the infrastructure, get us, I think, improve upon our infrastructure, because digitalization alone is not in the urban areas, not Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi, Sunyani. But when you go to my village, you should be able to experience the same digitalization in Accra over there. You know, so the infrastructure, if you're able to get those things, I think it will be good.
Do you think if they broaden the infrastructure, the cost of data will come down? Is that the whole idea?
No, you see, the cost of data, I believe it's a kind of monopoly system, whereby it's a whole government conversation. It's making, maybe if you have increased taxes for, if I'm a company, if you increase my taxes, I'll definitely also increase my service. So if the government are slashing down, giving them maybe some incentives, waivers, they could also, you know, reduce, because it's not the government giving us data. It's a private owned, but the government has a key stake in it. Why? Because they tax them on a lot of things. So they can have a conversation whereby all this could be able to help the people.
Do you meet some people who tell you, you know, I'm not interested in going digital. I don't have a WhatsApp number. I'm not on the internet. I'm not interested. You meet people like that?
Yeah, I meet people even where they see this whole internet as cesses, as they have some fictitious, you know, thing about this whole digitalization or these internet stuff. But when I look at them, one thing I know is that this kind of people are not people I have to even waste time talking to them. Because, see, the mind is very, sometimes the people you talk to affect your thinking. And the point here is that just look at what is happening around the world. Everything is digitalized. Everything. We've seen bigger investments being pumped into this industry. If this industry is an industry that makes no meaning in the future, you wouldn't see the lives of Bill Gates in there, Mark in there, Elon Musk in there, and all these people. This is an area whereby it's taking the whole world. Whatever we are doing is now going to be on the digital space. So it's better, and this is not a case of they waiting for you or asking of your permission. It is already happened. So it's better you join than we leaving you behind, like what happened some 2000s, you know, 2010s, you know, those times where computer started, you know, internet started, and people don't understand Facebook, you know. But now today, people are rather making money. Who have understood Facebook are making money, whilst we are also using Facebook are losing money. It's always those two people that we have in the world. So where do you place yourself?
All right. So, well, hope may the conversation continue around digitalization. You've gotten a sense of what the pros and cons are and where it's taking us. What's your final word on digitalization this morning?
Yeah, so I believe that digitalization is something good for us to be able to, you know, improve our economy. My only concern is that we shouldn't make digitalization politics something, but we should know that it's a national drive that the youth needed. When it comes to technology, the youth are very passionate about it. Please think about the youth anytime you are making policies about technology, digitalization. That will help us, CAF. And yesterday, I'm not really happy like that. Upon my coldness, having all these things, a good brother lost their mother.
Oh, so sorry.
So I take this opportunity. My own brother, Ransford Mauku, wish your mother rest in peace. You know, fed you well, mommy. Yeah, it's a sad moment when you're only two, and your mom, now that you are maybe doing something that is going to pick up, the mom have to, enjoy. She leaves you like that. It's a sad moment for us all. So.
May she rest in peace.
Yeah, but all that said, next week we are in Sunyani.
Okay.
Next week on the 24th, 25th, I will be in Sunyani. So Sunyani, expect us. We are with the NACS on Sunday. So expect us in Sunyani.
All right, Sun City, watch out. Cyber One Defense Communication is going to be in your neighborhood. David, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Enjoy your day.
Same.
All right, so still to come on our show, the costly mistake that spouses make. You'll be finding them out with our favorite relationship coach, Reverend Dr. Nanaya Owusu Prempeh. I sat down with the officials from Tobinco to talk about the exoneration and matters arising, because every day is making a response to the developments in the news. You'll be getting that, as well as your headlines with the ladies and Thelma, and sports, and social media corner, which is coming up in a short while. Our message number is 055 556 1034. It's 2 minutes to 7 o'clock. You are watching GTV Breakfast. Stick around.
It's a Friday edition, and this is how we like to start the whole show for today. So let's set the ball rolling with this video.
This is a better sweet, marvelous sweet. Just say, me who the America dynamic what Friday. Everybody shouts already.
Yes.
And now you're Friday.
And they're Friday. So, you know that feeling where there's a flu going around and everybody seems to be getting it and you think, oh, you're immune to it. And then something happens and all of a sudden you also have the flu. Well, that's what maybe happened to Reverend Father Intro Bosiako, a Reverend Father of a Catholic church who was, giving mass, and then he caught the vibe to King Palute's Aseda. He has since issued an apology, but a lot of people haven't seen the video, but it's trending on social media. So today we are bringing the video to you. It's basically catch the vibe, get the feeling. So that's the video of the father during mass, vibing to King Palute's Aseda. And it's kind of like, oh, it's a nice vibe, it's a great feeling. But then again, there's a little backlash for him. And then he has then issued an apology in a letter addressed to his executives, to his Catholic Diocese of the Konongo-Mampong. He says, I write to you with a heavy heart, filled with regret and humility. I'm deeply sorry for my actions in relation to the viral video featuring the singing of a secular song, Aseda, by King Palute within a liturgical space. I let my guard down and allowed the secular influence to enter our sacred space. I realize now that my mistake has caused offense and confusion, and for that, I am truly sorry. Moving on to the last paragraph, he says, please accept my sincerest apologies, and I hope that this letter will help clarify the situation and restore the image of Konongo-Mampong and the Catholic Church at large. Sincerely, Reverend Father Peter Kwesi Twumasi, Acting Rector of the St. Stephen Rectorate, Bodomase. So that's a letter he has since, the apology he has since issued, the letter he has since issued out, apologizing for the incident. I don't know what your take on this issue. I don't know what your take on this issue is. Do you think he should have apologized? Is there a bad thing he did, allowing secular vibes into the liturgical mass and all? That debate is raging on social media. Some saying he shouldn't have apologized. Some saying it's right that he did. I don't know what your thoughts are. Let us know on our social media pages. So we're moving right on, and today we are bringing 2 videos for our Flashback Friday edition. The first, nowadays when Ghana Black Stars is playing, there's a lot of passion. People say they've given up on the Black Stars, but when the Black Stars start playing, then it's like, oh, there's a little love for them. It's like, I just want to let you all know, I'm an Arsenal fan. And all of you Ghanaians, you're also Arsenal fans, because there's no way you can stop supporting Black Stars. Who are you? You're a Ghanaian. You will support Black Stars, by all means. Anyway, let's go to Australia 93, where Ghana played against England. A lot of people asking, where is this Ghana of old when it comes to the current team? Enjoy this video. hey, is this what happened to our current team and all? That was a nice vibe all the way back in 1993. And so we're going to our next flashback video, and this is Senior Man Theresa origins, you know, when he first started the comedy business. I don't know if you remember this video.
Hey, Senior Mandela. Senior Mandela. Hey. But me, must have to get him. What did I get? You have a gallery.
Okay. So our very next video is what Senior Mandela looks like now. And you know, he's still going with Gary and all that, because this time around, he's speaking about the fact that Gobe is live.
Good afternoon. Mami, Johnny Galini 2 city, Mami Coco 2 city, Mami Moon 2 city. I am Sumakunwa.
Oh, bra, sorry, I got been in a sachet, no beer.
Doctor, ile mpacho mbachisia condition kwa kusisai.
Si adio yoke o. Muhiani Gobe. Mana ye active.
Oh, okay.
Ya Gobe woni moje.
Gobe.
No ye active.
Bila wani Gobe na ba. Mama. Peja, so ni tini mama wai. Boa me.
Gobe is indeed live. So all the beans and cocoa lovers, Charlie, I know you love that vibe. So we're moving right on. This is what happens. This is coming from the camp of MJ the comedian. He's been doing a lot of skits. His skits are amazing. You should check him out on social media. He's the Commander General of the Fooling Forces in Ghana. I don't know why he says that, because some of his skits too, there's a little sense in it. You take some lessons from it and all. MJ, this is a quick shout out to you this morning. So this is what happens when somebody tries to rob MJ. But this time the character is Baba Musa, and see how it went wrong for the armed robber.
Hey, my friend, don't move. If you move there, I'll go chuk. Where? What floor but Martina? Give me your phone. Go fast. Hey, give me your watch. Hey, give me your money.
God have mercy upon us.
Can I know my offense? Hey, is that all? Better. I better give me your car key. Okay. Now, turn and smile. Dissolve!
A sobriety.
Thank you. Give me your car key. Give me your money. Give me your watch. Give me your phone. Take this one. To err is human. To forgive is divine.
And that's the question. What do you think should happen next? So the question some social media users were asking is the fact that all the times he was handing over his phone, his watch, and everything, was he still having his weapons? Or the hands were free, and then all of a sudden when he turned, the cutlasses came? Anyway, what do you think should happen next? I think the apology is enough. Or you don't think the apology is enough? You know, we know of 7 wonders of the world. But this video that's coming up, let's just say some wonders will never end. Enjoy this video.
मोबाइल गाड़ी में तो नहीं रह गया सर। मोबाइल गाड़ी में क्यों छोड़ूंगा यार? मोबाइल गाड़ी में तो नहीं रह गया सर। मोबाइल गाड़ी में क्यों छोड़ूंगा यार?
Yeah, so I don't know how to describe that song. I don't know if it's AI generated or that's an actual dog or what exactly is going on in that video. It's Friday, and just before we go to sports and the headlines, we'd like to give you, the vibe, the mood for the weekend. So enjoy this video. There's some bits of controversy when it comes to the soundtrack in the back. Apparently, he stole some moves from another influencer and all, but I don't know the backstory to that. But there's something happening with Dope Nation and all that. But anyway, I don't have the facts to that case. I'll bring it back to you on Monday. A lot happening to me behind the scenes. So that's it for SMC today. We'll go on a quick break. When we get back, we'll go to Studio 5 for sports.
have former President John Ejiofor Kufuor.
Okay.
Yes, being down here
We
as
want
well.
to see their
And
places.
recently, I got to know about Mr. Nyaho Tamaku, also being held here as a prisoner.
Good.
Once, yeah. So
Well, not
that
good for him back
side-
then, but-
Yeah, that side is called the political wing.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just
These are all
have-
condemned cells?
Yes, all these rooms are condemned
Condemned cells.
cells, yes. So here we have the bigger place that contains over 30 people.
30 people were here.
Yes, over. You can
Over
have
30.
30, yeah, you can have 40. So you can see the date there, 25th March 1992.
Never give up in prayer.
Yes. So during that time, we had prisoners here because this place was closed down in 1993.
So this, you've never changed the date since?
No. Here, you don't touch anything unless you get the go-ahead. Yeah, from the government of Ghana and UNESCO.
25th March 1992.
Yes.
It was a Wednesday.
Yes.
So some prisoner wrote the date there.
Yes. So this place and the other forts and castles we have in Ghana here became a World Heritage Site in 1979. The prisoners were still here at that time.
Wow.
Yeah, so in 1993, that is when it was finally closed down
As a prison.
yes.
What's that room there?
That is like an inner condemned cell. Yeah, that's the
For a
inner
very stubborn
part.
person, or
Yes,
what?
for the inner.
You have condemned, you have inner condemned.
Yeah, so for the inner part here, then the door is closed. Yeah.
Close it, let me see. I hope you can open it.
Yeah, it can open.
Wow. Serious, huh? Wow. And some small vent for air at the top there.
Yes.
So you can hear things happening outside there, but you can't go. So where were their bathrooms and their toilets? Where did they do the business?
Actually, they had a different place where they had their toilets. It wasn't built inside.
Okay.
Yeah, it was outside.
So this part was all built by the British?
Yes.
Okay. By then, were they still dealing in slaves?
Not at
No,
this place.
not at that- okay.
Yes.
So these were just for criminals and people
Yes.
who had been
Yes,
found
for
guilty
criminals. Yes.
in court?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
And what room
during-
is this? What room is this?
It's all part of it. Yeah, this is
all-
where like a security man was sit.
Okay.
And this is also the cell.
Another cell?
Yeah, this is also another cell.
Wow. Some heavy doors here, man.
Yeah. So for here, if you are not given the permission to do anything, it's hard for you to touch anything right here. Because sometimes you'll be here, then you have the UNESCO members just coming in here. So you trying to do something to the building, they might see what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here we hardly touch anything here. Yeah. And because it's like the building materials used in building this place.
Yes.
Yes, we don't easily get it in this country.
No, you don't.
Yeah, so it's kind of very difficult,
Very difficult.
for them. Yeah.
What happens here?
Yeah, so all these places are all part of the cell.
These are all cells?
Yeah, all these places are part. Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
So like all these.
More cells.
Yeah,
Did you
all
have
these.
both females and males?
Yes. So here you just have like a lot of people, but here this place was like for the officials. Yeah, this is like obvious. So you can see this place is big.
This place is for the officials.
Yes.
Then it's bigger.
Yes.
More air.
More air, everything. So for them, you know that they want bigger space, freedom, and everything. Yeah. So that's how the place looks like. Yeah.
So more cells.
Yeah.
all
So
around.
everything that we have here, mostly all the spaces we have here are all cells. Yes. All the spaces, all of them here.
You show me some of the spaces where the famous prisoners were
Yes,
stayed.
that one is at the
Over
other,
the other side.
Yeah, it's at the other side. In a particular cell, like this block, for instance, you can have more than 10 people in one cell.
10 in a cell.
Yes.
Wow.
These cells are not big. So you
Yeah.
can have like more than 10 people held in one cell. The doors are closed, there is no light, there is no fan. And you can see that something is actually blocking
Yeah,
the
escape.
sun from entering the room. So that is why you have it here. There was nothing in this room. These rooms are empty. So the table you see over there, actually, some people are about to shoot a movie here. So
Okay.
yes, that's
All
now
cells.
that's what we use this place for. Yeah,
To shoot movies?
Yeah. Here we have 36 cells here.
36 cells.
Yeah, the other blocks we have 36. So in here we can have like more than 100 cells.
Yeah.
Yeah, just at Usher Fort. So
Wow.
it's making like Usher Fort one of the biggest forts we have in the country.
I can imagine.
Yes. So here is 36. So that's the 36th cell.
Oh, yeah, I can see the number over there.
Yes. So we have 36 here, 36 at the other block as well. Yeah.
And this is all built by the Dutch.
Yeah.
So in the Dutch times,
the Dutch fort is actually not really big. It wasn't a very big thing. So everything that you see up there,
yes, it's British.
They were just converted into offices.
Offices.
Yes, all of them were cells.
Okay.
But then
so when we were at James Fort, we saw a place where they sold the slaves. Did you have a similar place here?
No.
There was no market here.
Yeah, because this place, the earthquake destroyed most of the parts. Yeah, so a lot of things have been destroyed here. Yeah, so that is why this place, the British just took it as theirs. And they also built their prison here because that is what they wanted. They've already acquired forts. They had the Osu Castle under their control. Yeah, so this block you see up front here, you can see the
tailoring shop.
Yeah, so the prisoners were being taught how to sew, how to make shoes at the top floor there. And down here was for carpentry.
Okay, so yes. Tailoring upstairs,
yes, tailoring upstairs,
carpentry down.
Carpentry. And you were asking about their washrooms.
Yeah, so those are the washrooms, straight ahead.
At the very far end, that was their washroom. And the entrance here actually leads to the political wing.
Political wing?
Yeah.
So these are the political prisoners?
Yes.
Okay. Very narrow.
So you can see that this is the VIP.
The VIP prison.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
very
here
narrow.
Now we have 4 cells in total, and you have in here, so they have quite a space.
Yes.
For themselves.
Yes.
So here you have less than 10.
Less than 10 people here.
10 people here. So it used to be the top floor and the down floor here. But since the top floor was converted into offices, that's why we have this down part. So here you have this cell and the other 3 cells at the other side. And even here, as the prisoners are staying here, they are still not free.
No.
Because they are chained.
Of course.
Yeah, the political prisoners, they are chained. So I've listened to one of former President General Kufuor's interviews. So that was when I got to know that he was once a prisoner at Ashafort.
Yes.
Yeah, so I researched on it to know the reason why he was brought in. I think during that time, he was the Minister of Foreign Affairs during the Buzia government. So when his government was overthrown in the coup d'etat,
yes.
that is when he was, that's when he was brought in here. But for former President, the late Jerry John Rawlings, he was brought in here because of a coup d'etat.
Exactly.
But later on, he broke out from this place. So these are some little things that I learned because I never did history.
But you're learning it.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's.
So are there cells here where they were staying?
For what I learned, they were like, JJ cell was at the last part, but for Kufuor, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
so let's go to JJ cell.
Yeah, might still have the same size. Everything is the same in here. So that is how we have people writing things on the wall. And sometimes when we have people coming here to shoot movies, they just want the place to look more like a cell, to bring it to life. Yeah, so this song by Nasi Aseda was shot here.
Was shot here?
Yes. The cell we just came through, the
yes.
cell block B, yeah, that one. And the church we have here. We have a church here.
Okay, we'd like to see it. Yes. So former President JJ Rawlings, this was his cell.
So that was his cell.
Wow. The walkway is very narrow, eh?
Yes. And the place can be very dark sometimes.
I can imagine. Yeah, in the night, it will be quite spooky to be here, you know?
This place is very spooky to be here.
At night, it will be spooky.
Yes. Sometimes the place is so quiet, it's kind of scary.
It's scary.
Yeah. Still, people find it difficult to enter this place because they said that, no, it's like their spirits
are still around.
Yeah, so they prefer not to come.
What was this?
So this is cell block A.
Okay.
Yeah, there's another cell, but you can see the state inside there, so we can't enter. So here is the church.
This was the church?
Yeah, this was the church.
Even from back then?
Yes, and Nasi's song was shot in this room here and that cell over there.
So this was a church?
So yeah,
for the British officers?
Yes, so this was a church, and that was something that was supposed to be a mosque.
This one?
Yes, and that is because it was a mosque because of some refugees we got here to come and live here in the early 2000s from Sudan. Yeah, they were the ones who built what we have
mosque.
right here.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is all what we have at Ashafort because Ashafort just moved from one person to the other. The Dutch who were here, they were more of trading. Even when they were dealing with slaves, it was just in a few number, not a huge number of people. Because of that, when the wars and everything was going on here, the Dutch actually got the help of the chief of the area because the trade that they were doing was actually benefiting both parties.
Both sides, okay.
So the chief decided to help the Dutch, and they won the war against the British because they never liked the British. They did not want to bow down to the British, so they just had to just help the Dutch win the war. And beside it, we have like the residence where the officials were living. So in here, we have like a bedroom where the officials were living, but now it's a place where we have our security men and the workers here living. Yeah, so Ashaford is not just this place. We have the last place, which is upstairs.
Okay, let's go check it out.
There. Yes.
So I'm wondering, did they let the prisoners out to come and just relax, get fresh air?
Yes.
Where were they?
The prisoners were allowed to come out during the day.
Okay.
So you go back inside during the night. Some pictures that I saw, even though it was black and white, pictures that I saw of this place, you can see that there were a lot of guards around this place.
Yeah.
And from what we've heard from some ex-convicts, yes, so I've met some ex-convicts who were once here. So they were like, even as they were here, no one was allowed to even pass on the pavement outside. Yeah, so it was hard for people to just come inside because this is actually the main entrance.
Ah.
Yes.
Not where we came through.
No. This is the main entrance.
So where does it lead out to? Let me see.
Yeah, it leads you outside. We have another entrance there. Yeah, so we have an entrance there. So when you come through this door.
Oh, okay.
Yes, then you come.
So this is actually the main entrance?
Yes. So you have the first door, you have the second gate before you enter the fourth. But now we can open it door, but we don't do it now. So here.
So in the olden days, that was the main entrance.
So here and inside this block is the bedrooms.
Okay.
So you have the bedrooms, and here used to have what used to be some offices. So this place is kind of renovated.
Okay.
So that's why you can see the stairs like this. You see tiles here and everything.
You must do a lot of climbing every day.
Yeah.
Makes you fit.
So you just have, then you have this. Yeah, you have this.
Was this part of the old blocks?
Yes.
From the old times?
This place has been renovated. That's why you see it as modern.
Okay.
But this is an old place. Then you have this view here.
Did they also have a door of no return here?
Yeah, it used to be here. But it has been blocked.
It's been blocked.
Yes.
Ah, this was the door of no return.
Yes.
This would lead you back then to the beach.
Yes. So they've
I see.
just blocked it. They are trying to create something there that would just lead you to the sea. Yeah.
Ah, so this would have led you to the
so
sea.
when I was learning about the history, my boss was like, they had a reason why they blocked this particular place because they are trying to create a tunnel that leads to the sea there. Where,
to give the experience of how they felt.
When they blocked it, they decided to use this door because when you pass here and you go like this, you still get to the sea.
Okay.
Yeah, so you pass through this door. There's another entrance over there. So you descend from here. There's another entrance at the far end there.
Yeah.
Then you descend, then you get to the shore.
To the sea.
Yes.
Wow. What a view. So Asher Fort is where?
This is Asher Fort. James Fort.
Sorry, that's James Fort. James Fort is up there.
The other side, yeah. And you have the lighthouse. That was the main reason why the British were fighting for this place.
They wanted control of the lighthouse.
Own everything. They already built the lighthouse, so they needed control of the whole area. So from where Asher Fort is down there, it's called Asher Town. And that side is called
Jamestown.
All of it owned by the British. But sometimes people really don't know that the British took over the place. They still think it's for the Dutch.
Mr. Asher was a British man?
Yes.
Okay.
The Dutch actually had to leave this place because they were losing people back then in the central region. So they had to just go back to reinforce themselves to take over whatever that belonged to them. Yeah, so that's how come we got here. So this building here was just renovated into a gallery. Yes, that talks bits about the slave trade. So standing here, you can see the lighthouse, you have James Fort, you have Asher Fort. Also, at the other side, you see at the far end there, you have the Osu Castle. At the far end there, you have Osu Castle.
The Christiansborg.
Yeah.
The Danes.
Yes.
There it is.
Christiansborg Castle. Then you have the Independence Square.
Independence Square.
Yes. So you have all this at one stretch. That is why the British wanted to take over.
Yeah,
everything.
control it.
Yes.
So that door of no return would have come out.
So Asher Fort would have been like a stop for the ships that come here. Just to take the slaves.
Bus stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to take the slaves away. So that's how it is. Yeah.
Wow. So what is the status of Asher Fort now?
Now here we just receive visitors here, and people just come here for documentaries here and there. So they come and learn more about this place here. People come here to come and shoot movies. And if you want to come and shoot a movie, they'll have to read the content of what you are come to shoot before you'll be allowed or given the permission to come and do anything here. People come here for music videos. If only it's about prison life, that is how we get people to come here. So now what we do now is mostly receiving visitors. Students come in day out. Before you came, you had students coming in already.
Do you find that the young people are interested in the history of this?
Yes,
this
now, because now it's part of their curriculum, we get more people coming here. Like next month like this,
Heritage
the calendar
Month.
is full.
Heritage Month for March.
Yes.
March is going to be full.
Yes, it's already full.
It's full already?
Yes, the calendar is already full from 1st March to the 31st. The whole place is full.
As an educator here, when you came here first, what surprised you most about Usher Fort?
Actually, to be honest, before I started working here, I never knew we had Usher Fort. I did not even know that we had fort. All I knew was the castles that we have. So when I came here, at first I was working at the administration. Before later, I was sent to the education department because of reshuffling. I started working here as a service personnel. So I was sent there to also continue with my work. So later, I was coming here, but not working here. So it was after I became a permanent employee, before my boss told me that, okay, the person who was supposed to work here, the educator who was supposed to work here is going back to school. So I have to come and replace the person. And I came in. So when I came in, learning about the history was kind of difficult for me because I did not do anything about history. But then I was like, no, I can't go according to what they are saying.
You have to learn.
I have to learn something and do my own research also. So that is what I did. So first I started learning about the things we have in the gallery there. And when I was sure of myself, that is when I took it upon myself to learn more about the whole place. So when I came here, I was like, okay, so we have something like this. So if you have something like this, it means we have like other places as well that look like this. So I became more interested in like the history of the country. I was willing to just learn more about the fort and castle. So now if I'm there and I'm not doing anything.
You're ready?
Yes.
Are you happy?
Yes. I love what I do
it.
because I get to meet people. They share their experiences. To me, I get to learn more about the history of the slave trade. Yes, a lot of things. Sometimes when you see some foreigners coming in here, they've actually learned more than what you know.
Do they get emotional, some of them?
Some of them really get emotional. Some of them really, especially those who come from Jamaica. Yeah, they get really emotional. Some of them get really angry. Yes, you have that mix.
Some cry?
Yes, you have that mixed emotions here. Some time ago, it almost broke out into a fight. Yes, we had a British person here, then we have this Black American coming here. We are telling the history, then it became an argument.
And he wanted to
my
fight
boss was like, okay, I'll take one person, so you take one person. So that is how.
No fighting.
Yeah. So this place, people really get emotional. Especially the Black Americans, the Jamaicans coming in
people
here.
Suffered.
They really get emotional. And when the Ghanaians come here, they get angry.
So different emotions. The Ghanaians are angry.
They are very angry.
And the
especially
Caribbeans.
when you get like the tertiary students coming in here, they really get angry. And you have the senior high school, the junior high school students, and it's like they are learning about it on a whole different level. Yeah, so they get, okay, so this is what actually happened, not about learning everything in the book. So we are actually
so it's good, experiential learning.
So they come here to just come. Actually, the students who came here, they really do not know most of the things.
And so they were
even
learning.
though they've learned it in history. So when they came here and they were seeing all these things, they were actually happy to learn more. They asked a lot of questions which they got answers to.
Did they enter the gallery?
Yes.
Should we go inside?
Yo, sure.
Let's go. Pass here.
Let's pass
okay.
here.
Your view here is wonderful, eh?
Yeah, when people come here, they refuse to leave.
Yeah, this is nice. I could have my lunch here and take a nap.
We have students from these international schools.
Yeah, take a nap.
Because for them, they don't really get to see these things here.
No.
They prefer to just stay here.
Yeah.
Yes, last time I came here with a foreigner, a man. I actually left him and I went back to go and work because he was refusing to come.
go.
Because he loved what he was seeing in there. Yes.
But we shouldn't forget that it was a prison.
Yes.
And a market for slaves.
Yes. So the gallery we have here just talks about gives us bits and pieces of information about the slave trade for us to see some things of everything that happened here. So here we just have like the summary of everything we have here, everything we have here. So starting from the slave bounds here, it just gives us an idea.
This is what they chain the people with?
The pictorial view.
This went around the neck?
So this goes around the neck, this around the wrist.
Around the wrist?
Yes, so this one here is actually linked to this.
So down and down?
Yes.
So
neck. Or the person behind you.
Oh, wow.
So with this, they moved them from where they were captured to where they will be kept. So people moved from northern region to be kept in the Osu Castle, which was a fort for Christiansborg. Yeah, so
this is how the trade worked, right?
Yes, so this is the transatlantic trade route. So this one here just shows you the movement of the Europeans.
So they came from Europe?
Yeah, coming from Europe. With
textiles, rum, manufactured goods.
So as you can see, one arrow comes, it goes back. That was because they come here, as first they sell, they buy, then they go back. That time the slave trade had not started. So when the slave trade started, that is when they come, then their direction changes. But then going to the North and the South America actually depend on where that European country had its influence. You don't just get up and take your slaves anywhere. So if you have the influence somewhere, then you take them there.
A lot of Africans.
Yes.
You know, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, Gambia, Senegal, Togo, Benin, Nigeria, Cameroon, Angola, Mozambique, all of that.
All of them.
Wow. And then
so
shipped.
The Portuguese were bringing their people here, they have British going there. Yeah, so that's because that is where they have their influence. And the raw material that they get from here goes
to Europe, and then it comes back as finished goods.
Yes.
For human beings, and then a lot happened.
Yes. Here we just have household items placed here for people to know what we were using.
Back then.
What we were used to back then, before the arrival of the Europeans. So from the cooking pot there, to the cooler, to the calabash, the basket, with the lao, the flute, the owari, then the Adinkra symbol, and the stool.
So back then, no internet, but this was what how they were entertaining themselves. Play games. Before Ludo.
Yes, then here we just have like a depiction of a household setting.
Okay.
Yeah, so because we have the household items here, we just
what it could have looked like.
Yeah, in a picture
so they can see the context of the things.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, so here we have a model of the St. George's Castle. Yeah, popularly known as
Elmina.
Elmina Castle.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is the St. George's Castle.
Apollonia.
Yeah. All the 28 forts we have.
Bain. Princestown.
Yeah,
Where is
this is a German fort, Western region.
Western region.
Yeah. That is Fort Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, yes.
Yeah, it's a British fort.
I know this one, Abanzi.
Yeah. Then we have Fort St. Jao.
Jao, Elmina.
Yeah,
so there are two forts in Elmina?
Yes.
Okay. I haven't been to this one before.
Yeah, because this one was built by the Dutch after they took over the Elmina Castle.
So this was like a slave raid, right?
Yes.
Slave raiding, military attack for the purpose of catching to serve as slaves.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So you have
people.
Yeah. So all these people
attacking.
were the blacks.
Trouble.
Yeah. And here we have these items here, in the case here, actually dating back to the slave trade era.
What was this for?
This one here is actually a replica. The original one is really rusted.
Okay.
But then in Denmark, this was the kind of axe that they were using for execution.
Lord.
Yeah.
So they chop somebody's head off with this?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you have here a replica of an executioner's axe from St. Croix. It was used not only for execution, but also for punishment by dismembering.
They would cut off your limbs. So this is a list of buyers of slaves?
Yes.
Wow, this poster was set up to announce the sale of slaves from Fredensborg. Before the sale started, the slaves were washed, shaved, rubbed to a shine with palm oil, and provided with blue loincloths. The sale brought in 41,092 riksdaler. 5% of this amount was paid to certain crew members according to a special system of allotment. On the left can be seen those who purchased slaves and how much they paid. Whoa.
Well, Ghanaians and Africans who are not interested in these stories.
Oh, actually, they have to be interested because it helps you understand what our ancestors went through, what they had to go through to be able to enjoy what you have now. Even though maybe you can say that, oh, I'm not enjoying anything because the economy is this, the economy is that. But then you have to think that someone fought, someone sacrificed him or herself for you to get the Ghana that you have now. So they have to try and show interest in their history. Yes. Okay. And that learning about the history will actually help them or give them a way to be able to prevent anything of that sort from happening again.
Very good note to end this interview. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Beniwa Kranting, educator par excellence at Asha Fort right here in Accra.
Historical pieces, and this one particularly from my backyard. Good to walk down the paths of history, and you can watch that documentary again when you go to our social media handles, GTV Ghana, everywhere. This is the headline segment. The ladies are seated. We'll be looking at some of the topical stories making the rounds on news portals, and I'll introduce them now. From my immediate left, lady in red, Adjoa Ejapoma Ansong is a member of the National Communications Team for the NDC, and she's here with Dr. Equia Amoakon, who is a member of the National Communications Team for the NPP. Ladies, welcome back to the table. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you.
As we do most mornings, I give everybody the opportunity to tell me what they've been thinking about. I have been thinking about how the weather is affecting the agriculture chain up north. It seems that the rainfall patterns have been very erratic this year, and most of the farmers have not been able to continue with their activities because there have been no rains. That's what's been keeping me up at night, because I'm thinking, will there be maize for Kenke next year? That concerns me personally. So I want to know what's on your mind, and then we'll get talking into some of the topical stories. Who wants to go? Equia, you first.
Okay, good morning to you and your viewers once again. I think, considering the time of year that we are in, is August. We are going to the polls in December, on December 7th. So what's on my mind is obviously elections. Ghanaians have an opportunity to make an impact in the choice of who leads us into the next chapter of growth. We've heard a lot of noise, distractions going on from the opposition NDC, and we've heard the bold policies and solutions that are being preferred by the current government and the campaign of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I think basically what has been on my mind, because it's been dominating the airways a lot, is the youth manifesto that was launched by the NDC and the confusion that seems to be stemming from there as usual. That has become, the calling card of the NDC. Their inability to explain issues and to speak to issues, and their tendency to rely on deception, lies, innuendos, and basic distractions, if you would like to say. Initially, they told us about 24-hour economy. We are still waiting for them to explain. Now I'm hearing a 133. I don't know if that means the directors of the various agencies are going to be 3. Are they going to share the same salary? There's a lot of confusion there. If they could be clear. And I feel like all this confusion is intentional, so that by chance, if we make the mistake and vote them into power, you can't hold them to account. Because then you don't exactly know what you voted for them based on, because you have no idea what to expect. Is it just going to be the passport offices? Is it just going to be the ports? You have no idea. Are you expecting to be able to eat kenke and fufu at night, or are we importing lions? And, we've had a lot of seemingly ridiculous stories coming out from their camp, and it's very incoherent. I think I expected better from the main opposition party going into this election. Then last week, or earlier this week, they come again with another, which is obviously a counter to the maverick policy of the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government, which is the free SHS. It is worthy of note that the NDC have been against this free SHS policy since the very beginning. They have done so much to try and destroy a policy that is ushered in to equalize the playing field and make sure that everybody in this country is able to educate their ward regardless of their financial status. They fought against this for so long, and then their flag bearer meets the press and makes an attempt to claim it, when it's on record that his contribution to free SHS was about 30 cedis on the bill, where students still had to pay about between 450 and 500 cedis. I don't think we can call that free SHS, can we? Then after all of this, you come and then you say you are going to make level 100 free, or you are going to make the academic facility user fee free, or through a student loan. Again, confusion and chaos from the NDC. What are we to expect? Are you going to make the whole academic fee free for level 100 students, even after you try to prevent them from getting to the university because you didn't want to pay for their free SHS education? You told us that if you had 2 billion, you would not invest it in free SHS. Now that you've seen that the policy is important, Ghanaians love it and is working, you make an attempt to claim it and then propose policies on the back of that.
There's a lot that's on your mind this morning.
There's a lot that's on my mind.
But you know one thing that I find impressive listening to you? It means you're listening to the NDC.
Oh, of course.
So I'll give Ejapoma the chance to also tell me what's on her mind. I'm tempted to think that because of what you've said, she has a lot to say as well.
Yeah, but, you can let me just land on that. Yeah, so where I was trying to go with all of this is, again, they are repeating the confusion and chaos, because I don't know if you are clear on that issue. Are they going to pay the academic facility user fee through a student loan? Are they paying the level 100 fees flat? Is it going to be paid through a student loan? Are the technical universities part? So many people in the NDC are coming out saying different things. The flag bearer has said something else. Dr. Peter Boama has said something else. Their director of communications, Sami Jemfi, has said something else. Georgia Pareado has said something else. And it hasn't even been a week. So it's obvious that the Ghanaian people are going to look at all of this and then see who has the better plan for our future. And I think it's quite obvious that after taking an in-depth look, they will come to the realization that it's the New Patriotic Party.
7 minutes of highlighting a number of issues, keeping her up at night, thinks that election 2024 is a crucial one and Ghanaians have the opportunity to actually make a choice based on the policies. She thinks that Dr. Bawumia's camp is offering maverick, bold solutions, and that whilst they are doing that, your communication is incoherent and lacks clarity. That's what I'm hearing from what Ikea is saying. Do you think so? Because we've had the Director of Comms, Sami Jemfi, on this same platform this week, and he's tried to explain what the NDC's Youth Manifesto is all about. First of all, she said the 24-hour policy is vague. When we start with Sami Jemfi, he talked about 133. Perhaps explain to us what that means, if that's what's on your mind.
Well, good morning. Good morning to you and your viewers. Of course, I didn't expect anything less from Dr. Awako this morning. It's been the song they've been singing. And what's been on my mind is that we had our youth manifesto, which they haven't been able to have. And so till date, we still do not know what the NPP has for the youth. And
the NPP is launching a manifesto on Sunday.
They haven't had it, so they haven't had it, and there's nothing like a youth manifesto. We have demonstrated that we have the youth at heart, and so we have brought out policies. And before we go out to talk about our policies or our manifesto, you know that we do not just sit at home or in our rooms and then come up with things. We went on the listening tour, we went on the Building the Ghana We Want Together tour, we listened to the people on the grounds, and then we came together. We put their thoughts and what they want together, and then we present it as a policy proposal. And so this morning, I do not expect anything different from an NPP communicator. Of course, you don't expect her to come and sit here and say 24-hour economy is a transformational proposition. No. We have tried severally to explain what these policies are. But first, allow me to highlight some of our policies that we've put together. And this is informed by statistics and data and things that we have experienced, our lived experience, because we all live in this country. We know the challenges the youth or the young people are facing in this country. And besides what we have experienced physically, the statistics also bears us witness that close to 2 million Ghanaian youth are at home without work, without education, and they are not in any training. And so all these things goes into informing us on what policies to put together for the young people. It is why His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has decided to propose the 24-hour economy, which is transformational. And I know personally that it has completely dazed the NPP camp. They do not know what to do about it because they have not been able to make any proper, fair and honest criticism of the policy. And I often say, and let me reiterate, that the most difficult type of ignorance to cure is the type that is self-imposed. And so there are people who will decide never to understand, no matter how much you explain it. But whenever they take the proposition from the NDC and they willfully misrepresent it and distort it, just so that they will be able to shoot it down, we still try to check them, not because we hope to correct their willful ignorance, but so that the actual Ghanaians or the people of Ghana who are deserving of properly being explained to what the policies are and how it will benefit them will not be misled by people who have not been able to govern 7 to 8 years now and still blame the opposition NDC for their abysmal performance in government. We are here. We have seen that they came to take unemployment rate from 8%, which they criticized so much, and they've taken it to where? About 18%, 14%. And so what are you talking about? When you want to talk about bold solutions, we always say that Kasayam Frama, your works on the ground, what have you done for the youth to even build on it, upon which, and when they say they are going to launch their manifesto, sometimes I find it very laughable. What are you going to tell Ghanaians? That the exchange rate was 4 cedis, 60 pesos, and it was bad, and 16 cedis, well, $1 to 16 cedis is better? Or that you have been able to take our public debt to over 700 billion and you can still not point anything monumental that you have built with the money that you gathered, that you promised us that we didn't need to borrow to build this country, yet you have overborrowed. And or that you told us that, oh, we just had to toll the roads and build concrete roads and there are no concrete roads in sight. Or that you promised us 1 million, one constituency, and we have not seen the money. Or the one village, one dam. Or the one whatever. What are you going to tell Ghanaians again? Me, I see that this youth manifesto has been well received by the youth of this country. When we talk about the 24-hour economy, we have explained to people that currently we run an economic module or economic policy that runs on an 8-hour shift, which means that when you come here in the morning and you close in the evening, like 5 or 4, you go and this building is shut. So let's say GBC or GTV is renting this place. When you close and you go home and you sleep, the landlord does not care whether you utilize the place or not. They are still going to take their rent. It is why we propose that we must add other shifts so that we'll be able to utilize everything that we're paying for and also be able to employ more people. So you come to work from morning till evening, let's say 7 to 4 p.m. You close. There's another host or there's a different group of people who comes to work from 5 p.m. Please, let me talk, please. Who comes to work from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. and from 1 a.m. to the next day. Then we are running 3-shift system. What that means is that, and I have seen the deliberate attempt of the NPP communicators trying to misinform people, saying that if we run a 3-shift system, it means that it doesn't mean that people are going to share their salaries or people are going to, I mean, you do not require any superior intelligence to know that if people have worked for 8 hours equally and they have worked in the same role, then they are deserving of the same level of remuneration. And especially if they are working for 8 hours each, shouldn't all be given same remuneration if they are working at the same rank? You don't require any superior intelligence to know that, but they intentionally distort this information just to mislead the people on the ground. But as we have said, we will continue to check them, we will continue to correct the narrative so that they do not mislead the people on the ground. We have talked about many of our policies besides the 24-hour economy, which we say the 1-3-3 approach: 1 job, 3 people, and 3 shifts. That is how we're going to run it. And the youth of this country has received, I don't know if you followed our, after the manifesto launch, we went to Bukom arena. I was there personally. You should have seen how well the youth received these policies. We talk about the National Apprenticeship Program, where those who are not able to enter into school, or those who are not so much interested in formal education, will be held into apprenticeship, where they will learn a skill or a trade, and the government will support them along the way.
Right.
And then we talked about...
Wrap it up for me.
Yeah, we talked about the no-fee stress, which again, they are saying that they do not understand. Does it not beat your mind that just a few years ago, the NPP was touted as the intellectuals in this country, yet they do not understand no-fee stress. And even though they claim to have implemented, and when she was talking, she actually made an admission that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's contribution to the free SHS was a paltry 30-some. That is an admission that you know that the free SHS started from somewhere. But yes, like the NDC's behavior, as is in their nature, they are very, very often disingenuous. So they will never admit that governance is in continuum. Somebody starts from somewhere and you continue. Nobody is
7 minutes. Both of you have had to share your initial thoughts on what's on your mind.
No fee stress. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the flag bearer of the NDC, have stated that the no fee stress applies to all public tertiary institutions. Please, you're not doing the questioning.
So I gave each of you enough room with very minimal, tried not to interject so that you can make your point and land it. So now I'm going to ask some questions. And so because you just finished your point right now, the concern from the other side is, is it going to be offered in a form of loan? How is it going to be paid, this free level 100 education?
Okay, so per our discussions with the people, we realize that it's quite difficult for young people who complete high school to enter into the university, and especially if you do not have the money. And there is the student's loan, which gives loans to students, but there is a condition that must be satisfied. That is, before you'll be able to access or have access to this kind of loan, you must first be a student. And
so it's a loan?
This is backed by law.
So it's a loan?
No, it's not a loan.
You said before you have access to this form of loan. That's what I'm asking.
Please listen to me.
Yeah.
I am saying that per our discussion with people and listening to their concerns, we notice that before a student comes into school, it is difficult for them to pay their fees. And if you do not pay your fees, you have inadvertently forfeited your admission. And so it has become a problem. So people argue that, but there is the student's loan. Why don't they access it? And we are saying that by law, before you'll be able to qualify for a student's loan, you must first be a student. So that has been a bottleneck for us to give loans to students. And so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama says that to create a level playground for everybody, then all students who are to enter into public tertiary institutions must enter for free for their first year. When you enter for free for your first year, you have become a student.
And so now you qualify
and
for
so now you qualify. So for level 200, 300, 400, because you're a student, going forward, those who will be able to pay for themselves will now pay for themselves from level 200, 300, 400.
Okay, so
and
I'll
those
ask
who
one
will
last
not
question.
be able to pay for themselves will now go onto the Students' Loan Trust Fund.
So government will be paying the public institutions directly. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, so now you've had a few extra minutes. Doc, you've heard the explanations. So now you can't claim that they haven't explained.
No,
Today I've given her time to. So my question to you is, what's your proposal for education? What's your proposal for tertiary education?
I'll tell you all about that, because in the NPP we are not about raising voices or calling names. We explain things as they are. So as she's saying, their flag bearer John Mahama, I watched it on TV because it's important to know, to try and understand their confusion. He said that the no-fee stress is going to pay for the academic facility user fee. It is very interesting for those who have recently finished university or whatever. You can take your school bill look at the itemized bill. It is only an item. The NDC is very fond of distractions, sloganeering. They'll come and say it beautifully. But let's remember the same thing they did when they tried to come and take the shine of the NHIA that the Kufuor government started. They came, saw that the NHIA was important, was here to stay, and their attempt was, okay, we will do it better than those who brought the NHIA. We are going to implement a one-time premium.
But isn't that what governments are supposed to do? If you find, in the spirit of continuity, and she mentioned that as well.
Has the one-time premium been implemented?
That is good. Then we owe it a duty to the people of Ghana to continue it.
Has a one-time premium been implemented? Was it ever implemented? The NDC was in power for 8 years and they were unable to implement it. So it just goes to show their lack of credibility when it comes to implementing policies, especially policies they have no idea about, policies they are confused about. Let me read a Facebook post from their Director of Policy, Dr. Peter Boamo Tukono. No stress fees for tertiary students, no fee stress for level 100 students, as the academic facility user fee for level 100 students is paid through an enhanced and responsive student loan system. Ex-President Mahama, the flag bearer of the NDC, also said it is the paying of the academic facility user fee through an enhanced student loan trust. So what are we talking about? Which is which? And back to the thing, the MPP has demonstrated a commitment to making sure people are educated in this country and making sure it is done on a level playing field, removing that barrier of finance to it. We've done that for the free SHS. A lot more people have been able to educate themselves. And now we are looking at the tertiary level. We are looking at transitioning towards STEM. She was talking about student loans. One of the issues for people who are less privileged and could not even afford to go to secondary school in the first place was that after they graduate from SHS, they can't afford to go to the university. They are allowed to apply for a student loan. But at that point, you need guarantors. So you need to have people that have steady jobs or government employees to guarantee for you. So you can imagine, like that's the young man from Adesso that was trending last week or so. Where is he going to get the guarantors from? So and she was saying that we haven't come out with a manifesto or a statement or whatever. Right after Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia got the nod to be the flag bearer of the MPP, I think it was in February, he met the whole country and engaged us at UPSA and listed a 70-point policy agenda touching every aspect of Ghanaian life. Every aspect, businesses, youth, jobs, education, everything is there. And so if you haven't read it, that's on you. It's there, people are propagating it. That's where the term bold solutions originated. And this no guarantor system it's there. So if you've been able to go through our FSHS policy, you've done marvelously well. Our plan for you now is that you have access to the student loan without stress. We are not promising you to pay. It's important to note that I checked the bill currently for KNUST now. If somebody has gone through free SHS because their parents couldn't afford, they've been able to go thanks to the benevolence of this government. They've scored perfectly, like Thomas Amoini from Adesso, and wants to go to medical school. The fees, you are not even fee paying, is 3,800 cedis. 3,800 cedis is what your parents have to cough up currently. What they are proposing, because we are taking what the flag bearer says and what Dr. Peter Boama, this was after their youth manifesto, when people were saying level 100 is free. I'm sure he was confused and scared that, hey, what is happening? They are misconstruing the whole thing, so let me come and clarify. And I read it out. The academic facility user fee is only a fraction of that. So the figure that I mentioned as 3,800, the academic facility user fee is 700 cedis out of that. So Thomas Amweni, who had got 8 A's, wants to go and do medicine in KNUST, now has to pay 3,100 because your plan is to pay 700 cedis out. Right. So how do they come up with the rest of the money?
Dr. Ekwea Mwakon speaks for the NPP and Ajoy Jepoma Ansong speaks for the NDC. We are talking, it's a manifesto watch of a sort on GTV Breakfast this morning. Add your voice to the conversation. Ask your questions of the two parties seated at the table. Our WhatsApp number 055 556 1034. And we'll read some of your questions out to the panelists so they can respond. A minute to each of you to talk about, you were clear about the upcoming launch of your manifesto in Takoradi on Sunday. And if there's a rebuttal, if any, from Ajua to her, on this submission that she's made. She says that if it's the academic user fee, it's just a line item. There are other things on the list of the fees list, and does it cover all that, or is it just academic user fee? Whose account should we take as the NPP's official position?
Oh, that's on me. Okay. So what I know is that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has said that if you are going to go to any public tertiary university when he is in power, you are going to go into it for free. So Dr. Mako has made reference to some
an item list.
An item list.
A list.
It's been a while since.
One item on that list.
Share it with me. So for now, what I am saying is what the flag bearer is saying.
So it's complete free.
The flag bearer, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, have said emphatically that come 2025, when he is president, all students who are entering into any public tertiary institution are entering for free. And after the first year, then
they can apply for student
loan if they cannot continue to pay.
Doc, Sunday, the manifesto launched by the NPP. What's the expectation?
I think everyone is very excited for the manifesto launch of the NPP. We have demonstrated time without number that we are working government. We do as we say. We don't come and sloganeer vaguely, so that when we are unable to implement this, there's difficulty holding people to account. Just as we've demonstrated this morning, I've read a Facebook post directly for you. I was trying to look for the speech from President Mahama where it is there. He said academic facility user fee, and he said through an enhanced student loan scheme. I'll find it and then and share it with my friend here, Ajwa. So there's that confusion there. What I can tell you is that after the NPP gathers in Takoradi to launch our manifesto, there will be no confusion. The message will be clear that since we came into power in 2016, we've outperformed the John Mahama government in every sector of public life. When you come to healthcare, more hospitals have been built, more doctors and nurses have been hired. Now, as a doctor, if I want to go and do postgrad, I want to specialize. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, a lot of specialists are in town because people as young, even some of my juniors have started specialist training. Have you wondered why? Because it is free. Before, it would have costed a young doctor. You just graduated. You can imagine you've probably started a family. You've decided to have some 2 kids. How much were they paying you at first? Even if you compare the salary, that's even another discussion for another day. When we went to John Mahama for conditions of service, John Mahama told us that he will not negotiate with us under duress. That's what he said. The house officers, that's fresh doctors who just graduate school, they worked first. They stayed at home for 9 months before being posted. After that 9 months they stayed at home, they were employed for 11 months. No salary.
People have sent us messages of, professionals, teachers, doctors and nurses who have stayed home awaiting posting.
No doctor has stayed home awaiting post. Now we wait 2-3 months. It's on record.
There's a CTAC strike that's ongoing currently.
Yes.
And every day there's a particular texter who sends messages, say, what's government doing about the CTAC strike? So it has not been all rosy. Can we admit that it has not been all rosy? I can admit that it has not been all, but I am demonstrating that even with the economic crisis we find ourselves in, that is generalized. It's not localized to this country. This government has far outperformed the John Mahama administration. And I was listing a few things that it's there. Everybody knows. All the nurses that John Mahama left at home, for 3 years, he left nurses at home and was not granting them financial clearance to be employed. All those people have been employed now. Doctors are paid better. We've built more hospitals. We are trying to achieve universal health. I have questions.
We are trying to achieve universal
right
health.
After we take the thoughts of those who are watching us.
Okay.
You can hold your fire there for me, Dr. Ekwia Amako and Adjoa Jepoma Ansong, NPP and NDC, respectively, speaking at the table. What are your thoughts? CAF is at the screen now with some of your questions.
Hello, ladies. I like the colors, red, gold. My socks have green, so
happy socks.
And I can see black, so Ghana. All righty. Is SHS really free? I have spent more money on my boys in SHS, which is far more than when it was not free. This is a question to you. Is it really free?
The policy, see, when it comes to the NPP, things are very simple. Free SHS policy is you are not paying school fees. So the school fees we used to pay in secondary school, when I was in school, I think it was between 800 and 1,000 cedis. You are not paying for that. So
but you see,
should let us know if he's
the
paying
other
for that.
expenses, because of the challenges with, for example, food in the boarding schools,
Feeding is
and
also
the challenges that the Ghana, the buffer stock has encountered in distribution of food items to the schools, it has meant that parents have to now send food to some of their children whilst they are in school because the school is not able to feed the children.
I don't think that's a fair description of conditions now.
It's the situation in one senior high school because we go to senior high school. We've been to senior high school. So in the schools that I have seen, for example, the challenge has been that just one item, feeding, is a problem. So parents are having to send food to the students in school.
So that might be an isolated incident. The feeding of people in secondary school used to be part of the bill that was paid, and it is covered by the government now. People have gone through free SHS and they have graduated. Some of them have gone on to get government scholarships to go on to universities in the UK and have made first class there. So we cannot try and sit here and minimize that achievement. See, it's the people in the villages. So it's not, you see, it's the people that 5,000 cities, they could never have put it together. There's no way they could have come up with that money. Right. It is the number of people my mother had to, give them support to go to. Now she doesn't. It's the little, maybe sardine, those small things that you are giving them to go to school. Before, if you are trying to help, even if you are trying to help somebody, you are paying fees. It is the cleaner at my clinic who had to drop out in JHS because her parents couldn't afford. If she was born in this era doing free SHS, she could have gone to secondary school. That's what we are talking about.
Did you talk about accommodation? Because there's a comment here on accommodation.
Not
You didn't. Okay, so but somebody is saying that accommodation is killing us in Ghana. Okay, this I think is for Ajua, I believe. Yeah. Ask her whether the policy she's propagating actually sounds in her own ears, what it sounds in her own ears in Ghana. A president who wants to go for allowing Okada, removing betting tax for the youth, and then the 24-hour, it says it's an unreasonable 24-hour economy. So your responses, Okada, betting tax, 24-hour economy, they want to get some sense out of this.
Sectors are already 24 hours. When you were talking, you made a point about GBC. GBC already runs 24 hours. We already have a 3-shift system. And so that is already happening in some sectors of the economy. So how do you weigh that against the new proposals that you're bringing on board?
How does that
and then Okada and betting.
Yeah, how does that stop us from making it bigger, from extending it to other sectors, manufacturing, making sure that we are producing more, exporting, so that we can have some foreign directs, we can strengthen our economy or our city. So the fact that GBC is running a 24-hour, we have never said that there are some people who are not running 24-hour. Yes, there is. And there are some model economies who are also running that, and we see the benefits. It is why we also want to extend it and make it like a general thing. And the issue on
the motorbikes, commercial motorbikes.
Okada, I often say that I think leading to the 2020 elections, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama proposed that we should regularize Okada.
What does regularizing mean?
Regularizing, it means that, so per his explanation, we are going to put them into associations. We are going to provide for them reflective jackets. And then we are going to make laws that protects them, and also to see to it that people on the road or drivers on the road respect these Okada drivers. I have been to our close country, Togo, and then you see that the drivers actually respect Okada riders, and it is a form of transportation. Whether we like it or not, Okada business is in Ghana, and we are not banning it. And Okada is used for many things, for transporting, for delivery services and all. So those who are doing delivery must be put in a category.
But use for commercial purposes are allowed. What the law has not allowed is for you to use it, to pick passengers as a taxi. But they are doing it.
But they are doing it.
And that's the law that you want to change.
Yeah, so when you see, and we've also seen cases of people using motorbikes for criminal activity. So I personally have been attacked once around a cantonment on 2 guys on a motorbike, and because we have not regularized it, we don't know which motorbikes come from where, the number plates, but if we're able to regularize it and put it together, then we know that this number plate is for delivery.
Are you addressing the road safety campaigns that comes with, because we see our brothers on the roads and they don't always play by the rules?
So now if we are regularizing, it also means that they are going to obey traffic rules, because now you see that even when you are driving, they are ahead of you. They don't obey traffic regulations. Okay. And then they do not want to wear the helmet.
Betting tax.
So all of that will be put into consideration.
Betting tax in a minute.
It is better than leaving people like just they are still doing it. They are still going to ride the motorbikes. Some are going to use it for bad things. But it is better for us as a country to regularize it so that we can control it. Now, the betting tax.
In a minute.
The betting tax, the abolishment of the betting tax, or the proposal to abolish betting tax, has come on the back of the youth of this country being daily frustrated by this government. I showed to you the
frustrated.
Yes, I made reference to the statistics by Ghana's Statistical Service on how
the 1.9 youth who are not in educational skills.
So this is a government that has not been able to provide adequate, sustainable jobs for young people in this country. And mind you, betting, when they bet with these companies have a mother company that regulates them, and these companies that comes into this country are already taxed. Now somebody goes to bet, and then when the person loses money, you do not pay them, or you do not give them any allowances. And per the discussions with the boys, I think I was at the Bukom Arena. I do not bet, so I do not know how it works. But with my conversation with the boys, they will tell me, Ajwa, we can bet up to 1,000, then we can win like 2,000. So if I bet 1,000 and I win 2,000, government is taking that. What about the 1,000 that I have lost? So these young people are already struggling because you have not been able to provide sustainable jobs for them. You are already taxing them. Those who have decided to go online to do businesses, now every transaction you're doing, you are being taken e-levy, COVID levy, which has passed. I don't know which other country that is taking COVID levy. So you pack taxes on the young people, and then the little respite they find in hustling and getting their bets also, you go in there and tax it.
So if you keep your eye on that clock over there, it says 8:25. We're wrapping this up at 8:30. CAF will take, if there are, one more.
There's stuff for them. So Junior wants to know, he's surprised that Akua is defending the MPP, and he wants you to understand what happened to, if your fundamentals are weak, then your exchange rate will expose you. He just wants to know, get some clarity from that. Akua.
So as I said earlier, a man is measured by what he does when the whole world comes crumbling down. We were all here, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, we heard about the protests in Nigeria. We heard about what happened in Kenya. We heard the former Prime Minister of the UK, Rishi Sunak, in Parliament complaining about inflation and the cost of living. It will be, I don't know the word to use to describe to the notion that it is well everywhere. The whole world has gone through a problem, and we are reeling, and we are getting out of it. How you look at people and how you judge people is what has been done in the midst of all this. Are you going to pick the man where there was no global economic crisis? He could not employ nurses. He wasn't paying doctors. He didn't build as many hospitals. Or are you coming to take the person who is promising bold solutions, and the government that in the midst of all of this, they are paying the doctors better, they are employing them. We've built over 34 hospitals from scratch. The Eurojet hospitals that the NDC government left over. Kufuor made this perfect plan of building about 8 or 9 Eurojet hospitals. This was like 2007, 2008. The Mahama government, no turmoil, no problem. They could not finish these hospitals. They left them there. It has taken the benevolence of this government to complete those hospitals. We've introduced free SHS. We've built more schools than they ever did. So
if the fundamentals are weak, that comment that keeps coming back when we are talking about Dr. Bawumia's performance, what should we make of it?
I'm telling you to look at the whole picture. It's obvious there's been an issue in the whole world. The fact some people, we are just living in Ghana, and you know, it's so easy to forget about what's going on around us. But we don't live in an island. We are not an island. We are not isolated. So you look at what people are doing for you, regardless of the circumstances.
Thank you, ladies. I think we'll wrap up. There's 2 more minutes for us to go. I doubt any of you can make a comment in 30 seconds.
Yes,
because I've been listening to you.
I mean,
so 30 seconds for each of you. Ajwa, you go.
When Dr. Amako made her earlier submission and was talking about hospitals, I just didn't see the need to rebut it or respond to it because it's very laughable.
How many hospitals did you build?
I mean, so if we talk about infrastructure or building of hospitals, we can talk about UGMC, we can talk about Rage Hospital, we can talk about Maritime, the Bank Hospital, Baligatanga Hospital, in fact, TEPA. I can talk about many hospitals.
10 seconds.
And so as is in the nature of the NPP, they always blame other people and other things instead of taking responsibility of what they have done. It seems that Dr. Marco has not taken time to read the Auditor General's report on COVID-19 and all other things. The countries she mentions that they are in turmoil and all, we see these countries going through this, yet all economic indicators shows that they are even better off than us.
You're talking about so that's I was trying to ask Ajua. How many hospitals have you built? I told you we have built that. You just talked about the Bolgatanga Hospital.
Which one?
Yesterday, it was yesterday that Nana Addo Dankwa opened the phase 3 of the Bolgatanga Teaching Hospital. You can Google that and you will find the beautiful opening ceremony of that hospital. UGMC phase 2 that they are so desperately always trying to claim. When this government came into power, phase 1 was 70% complete. We completed that. Got another 40 million euros of funds to build phase 2. We could have put that money somewhere else. We've put a new center in Kolebu, the Urology and Nephrology Center of Excellence, because right now kidney issues and things are becoming an issue. That center of excellence is bigger than the renovation they did to Rage Hospital because it already existed. Plus another 30 hospitals started from scratch and completed by this government. They've been touting themselves as the kings of infrastructure, but that's a big lie.
Thank you
as the NDC is always known for propaganda. That is one of their propaganda shots today as well.
Dr. Equia Amoako, a pleasure I've had sitting with you this morning, a member of the National Communications Team for the NPP. Ajua Ejepoma Ansong, you have a namesake here, Ejepoma. She would love to meet you, a member of the National Communications Team for the NDC. It's been a pleasure sitting with you as well. This has been our headline segment. A happy birthday from OBK to Samuel Efum of the Computer Science Department at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. So all the marking you've marked here, it has helped. Thank you. Happy birthday to you. We'll take a quick break. When we return...
16th of August 2024. And a couple of days back, in a significant legal ruling, the Accra High Court exonerated Tobinco Pharmaceuticals and its group chairman, Elder Dr. Samuel Amu-Tobin, from over allegations of importing fake drugs into the country. The court's decision dismissed the claims made by former FDA Chief Executive Dr. Stephen Opuni. And these actions included locking the company's warehouses, disposing of its products, and detaining its CEO. Here with me is Head of Regulatory Affairs at Tobinco Pharmaceuticals, Dr. Justice Philip Annan. Good morning, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Kafi, and to your viewers.
It's a pleasure to have you here. So for those who are not following this, just back it up a bit and tell us exactly what led to this legal action, what led to the actions suffered by your company.
Okay, so way back September 2013, in fact, even before that, Tobinco wanted to put up a huge manufacturing facility in Ghana here to take care of the products that we were importing. So as a law-abiding company, we wrote to the authority, that is the FDA, to give us some time. Normally, when you register a product and you go for renewal, for imported products, it takes 3 years, and for local products, 5 years. Mm-hmm. So in 2011, thereabouts, we wrote to the FDA that we have plans of putting up this huge facility. It's gone far, and for that matter, products that we were supposed to renew for 3 years, we thought by a year we'll be able to finish with our manufacturing plant, and they will produce the same products locally. We wrote to the FDA, then FDA gave us 1 year instead of the 3 years. But unfortunately, due to some delays, the plant couldn't come on board. So from 2000, it went in 2011, it went into 2012, 2013. Then one day, my boss was around, and then he had a call from then CEO of FDA, Dr. Stephen Opuni, to attend a meeting with our principal, that is Mr. Kamat, our main principal, to come down for a meeting. They went there, and then they were shown a product that we had imported into the country. And there and then, he said the products were fake, and that the products were, killing people, children, and all that. So my boss and the company should recall those products. And then we're also giving some fines as to the administrative fines, as we call it, to be paid. We obliged of all the directions that were given. And then we thought that should have ended the whole issue. Then, little did we know, there was publications here and there that were importing fake drugs. It came, between September 2013 and then latter parts of the year to early part of 2014. It was like Tobinco, FDA was making the headlines, and it was a negative publicity on the company. After that, when the thing became a bit more heated, our warehouses were locked. Products that had not expired were locked. Products within regular registration status were also part of it. Products that were pending registration were also locked. Apart from locking the warehouses, product that has gone to our customers, be it licensed chemical sellers, pharmacies, wholesale pharmacies, hospitals, all kinds of facilities, FDA and the agents went to these facilities, took out the medicines, and then chartered them to dump sites, to burn them, to crash them, and to destroy them. This happened between 2013 to the early part of 2014. We sought a whole lot of, actions to suppress those kind of things, including even going to court in 2013 to put an injunction on destruction of our product, which even came to the papers. We were told by then CEO that if we're able to take it out of court on our own, the injunction and then the issue to court, if we are able to take it out of court, then they will come to the table for discussion. We obliged, because our name was, being destroyed and all that. Before even that, our CEO, when he was called for the meeting at the FDA head office, when they were leaving, after being accused of importing fake medicines into the country, they were arrested. And according to my CEO, it was done in a Rambo style.
Who arrested them?
It was then, he didn't know them. They came in, they identified themselves as BNI, now NIB, and then they were taken to their head office around the 37 military hospital, their office there. Later on, they were kept, I think, almost the whole day. Later on, they were transferred to Nema police station. I believe most people who had followed this thing would remember this story. So there, they were charged to come and then report to the BNI every day. It continued for some time. Then, at one particular moment, they were handed over letters to sign that they should admit that they had imported fake medicines into the country.
Did he sign it?
Yes, he did.
So he admitted that he had imported?
Yes, on the paper. But then, what the circumstances was that, one, the principal, whom he had been arrested with, was diabetic, and they had kept them the whole day. The only condition for their release was that they have to sign. Where the letter came from, where the letterhead came from, they didn't know. Okay, so if that is the only thing that I would do, and this happened at the BNI, now NIB office. So they signed and then they issued, they released them. The following day, that letter was in the papers that Tobinco, after claiming they don't, agree to importing fake drugs and all that, had signed a letter confirming or confessing that they've imported fake drug into the
So
country.
this is like a 10 years or 11 years saga.
Yes.
When did you take the case to court?
So, like I said earlier on, even within the 2013, we went to court with an injunction to, prevent FDA from doing all of this.
Is the judgment that you received this week, is it as a result of that court case?
No.
So let's talk about that court case.
Okay, so we went back to court in 2019, and that was after everything had gone down to exonerate ourselves. As in the company, the CEO, the family, and even the staff to exonerate ourselves.
So this has been a five-year battle,
Almost.
2019 to now.
Yes.
Okay. How has Tobinco been impacted by this particular matter?
The impact was very, very negative. This issue. When you mention his name, you start with the prefix elder, which means that he's an elder of the church, and for him to be the one to be importing fake medicines into the country. Most of the publications, I don't know how the media works, twisted and they called him drug baron. Of course, in parentheses, making it look like it is nothing. But then if you put drug baron in parentheses, it doesn't take away the fact that you are calling the person drug baron. So because of some of these things and the negative impact it had on our company, the image, the brand name, the family of the people, of the CEO, and even as some of us who are known as staff of Tobinco, you meet your colleagues and they will call, you people, is it you that you imported this, and that? So the company sat down together with the CEO and thought it wise that no, if for nothing at all, we should redeem that image, that we've never imported any fake medicine into the country. We've never done that. And that is why, that is the motivation. That is the biggest reason that we went to court, to clear ourselves. Now, if you go onto the net and you type FDA Tobinco, it is this kind of negative comment that will come. Negative publicity, negative attention. And we can't do anything about it. We can't just go stand somewhere and say that we didn't do it, especially when we had signed a letter under duress, of course, and then it has been published. So we thought that, okay, the right thing to do is to go to court and exonerate ourselves.
So what the arguments you made in court, how much were you seeking? What did you want from the court?
The most important thing that we went to court for was to exonerate ourselves.
Did you ask for money, though?
Yes, we did.
How much did you ask for?
The money that we asked for was in dollars.
Okay, how much?
I think a total of, I can't really, but then, you see, we were importing in dollars, transacting business in dollars. So we did all the calculations in dollars, at least to reflect what had been destroyed, damaged at that time. Right. So I think it was around $16 million then.
Okay.
Yes.
And the court has now given you 93. They said the FDA should pay 93 million cedis to you.
No, the court never said that. The court never said that.
There's a figure of 93 in the
yes,
media. What
yes.
does it mean?
In fact, for my first interview, when I was questioned on this, I was like, where did they get the figure from? Because if you read the judgment, the court even quoted in cedis, and even the total thing was around 25 million.
Cedis.
So of course, with interest and other things. So I don't know where these figures came from.
Okay. So what did the courts give you? What are the reliefs they gave you?
So first, and the thing that, gladdens our hearts, the ruling that gladdens our hearts is that the court was emphatic that we've never imported any fake medicine into the country. FDA came with their strong defense that, yes, the product in question was killing people and that. But then upon the wisdom of the court and the argument that we make and then the evidence that were presented, it didn't support that. I am a pharmacist too. And when I saw the evidence, when I was, in the court, and I saw the evidence, I said, no, this thing can never pass anywhere. The name on the evidence was not carrying our name, and it's all, point to one direction. And that the court also affirmed that it was an exercise of, abuse of power. And the two were the very most important things that we were looking for. That we exonerated, that we never imported fake medicines, and that the then CEO of the authority abused his powers.
Are you satisfied with the ruling?
Yes, for now. In fact, my CEO once said that if these two things had not been done, he would have gone to the appeal court. That if the court had not held that we did not import fake medicines and that there's no abuse of power, he would have proceeded to the Supreme Court.
Let's take the highlights of the ruling from the court on this matter involving FDA and Tobinco. So, highlights of the court ruling. Let me read it for you. For those of you who are not by your screens, the court determined that Tobinco did not import fake drugs into the Ghanaian market. 2, the court affirmed that the acts of the FDA and its chief executive officer at the time, Dr. Opuni, constituted misfeasance of a public office, i.e. an abuse of the FDA's statutory powers and duties. 3, the court confirmed that after Tobinco was fined because of some of his drugs had expired in terms of registration, the FDA, led by Dr. Opuni, failed or refused to register the drugs that had not expired in terms of registration. 4, the court found that Tobinco's contention was that the FDA's former CEO, Dr. Opuni, targeted the company without any reason, as Dr. Opuni's departure led to the registration of the same drugs under a new CEO, Mr. Hudu Mokhtari. 5, the court acknowledged the coercion of Tobinco's CEO and the director of Bliss GVS Pharma, Mr. Kamath, to sign the so-called confession statements. 6, the court explained that a review of both documents confirmed that the wording is the same, with the only differences being the letterhead and the names and signatures of the signatories. 7, the court expressed its view that if Dr. Tobin and Mr. Kamath had written the documents separately, it is unlikely the wording would have been identical. 8, the court also confirmed that the FDA took the letterheads of Tobinco and Bliss GVS Pharma from Tobinco's offices, provided them to BNI, now NIB, and used them to type out statements for them to sign. 9, the court confirmed that it was unlawful for the FDA to prohibit the sale of Tobinco's products without obtaining an executive instrument from the Ministry of Health. 10, the court ruled that it was unlawful for the FDA to ban Bliss GVS Pharma Limited from exporting drugs into Ghana without the minister's approval of an executive instrument. 11, the court affirmed that the unlawful conduct of the FDA and its former CEO, Dr. Puni, caused substantial damage and loss to the plaintiff's business. And I'll just read the Tobinco's position on the ruling. Elder Dr. Samuel Amu Tobin and Tobinco Pharmaceuticals Limited welcomed the court's judgment as it vindicates their position that they have never imported substandard drugs or fake drugs into the country. Tobinco Pharmaceuticals has always produced and marketed its drugs professionally to its valued Ghanaian and African customers, so it will never endanger their health. It's a positive feeling and welcome news for a court of competent jurisdiction to affirm my innocence. It's a very great feeling, CEO of the Tobinco Group said in a brief statement he's excited.
He's very, very excited.
When was the ruling delivered?
I think on 29th of July this year.
He's already done Thanksgiving in church?
We are here too. We are here. Kafi, you remember that during the issue, in fact, when it went down a bit, the former president came to our factory, the factory that was being built, and we sought for, a delay in registration of our products, or the extension of the registration status, right, where they were all done. So the president came, and then that gave us a bit of, edge, that after all, there have been some sense in doing all those. So we are very much excited. And then, like I said, during the time, we went to seek the presence of God for protection and for, helping us to stand. So definitely, we are planning something to go to court, to go to church, to thank God for even exonerating us.
The latest news is that FDA wants to appeal this particular decision. How does that make Tobinco feel?
We actually saw this publication yesterday that they seek to go to the appeal court. I believe it is right for them to seek appeal. I don't know what they are appealing, but then what I can say is that it is within their right to seek for redress. If they feel like the court didn't do justice to them, it is their right to go to court and see.
As Tobinco, what have you learned from this particular experience you've undergone over the past 11 years?
Yes, Kafi, it's quite an unbearable situation, and hence we've made sure that we are doing the right thing every time, even before then. But now, you see, we said during the time that it was some delays in our decision-making that led to all of these things. But now we've learned the lessons. Delays will not come in doing business again.
Were you head of regulatory at that time?
No, I wasn't, but I was with the company then.
Okay. Would you, if you had to suggest any reforms as far as regulatory issues are concerned, because that's your desk now, what would you suggest?
Yes, the Ghana Regulatory Agency, as in the FDA, in fact, whenever I go there, I'm very happy. They are one of the best, not only in Africa, in the sub-region, but one of the best in Africa. They are doing marvelously well. I'm not with them, but then for we, the companies, what I'll say is that we should always make sure that we are in regulatory compliance, because you never know when somebody will pick on an issue and then use it against you.
I'm sure you have close conversations with your boss.
Yes.
Has he told you why he thinks this whole episode happened? What is his theory?
In fact, we were rather trying to suggest to him what could be the problem, to the extent that we're even asking weird questions. It doesn't make sense.
What was the weirdest question that you asked him?
The weirdest question was like, has he ever been in any kind of, business with this man, as in the former CEO? Anything, any negative interaction? And he was like, no. He's been, as a regulator, head of a regulatory body like FDA, you always need to be in good books with a person. So for him, he's never, ever, it doesn't make sense. And to all of us who were there at that time, it didn't make sense that you pick on one product, and because of that product, you ban even the importer of some of these products for doing business in the country.
What was that product supposed to have done? What was it?
It's an anti-malaria, a product that we've registered the tablets and other forms, right? So that is what was picked on.
And is it still in the market?
No.
Okay.
We submitted, like the ruling said, after everything went down. In fact, even during the time, we submitted for registration. Some of the products we submitted for renewal of the registration, but it was never granted.
What are the next steps now? FDA is going to file in their appeal. What's the next step for Tobinco?
With regards to that, I think our lawyers will be would have to advise us. Since this thing just came yesterday, we've not had time to, ponder over it. But of course, if they take it to court and call us to come and, defend, the company and the lawyers will go and defend it.
All right. Let's take just as we took the ruling. Let's also see the FDA statement. So this is a clarification on Tobinco Pharmaceuticals Limited versus Food and Drugs Authority, dated August 15, 2024, which is yesterday. The Food and Drugs Authority has noted with concern the manner in which the recent ruling in the case of Tobinco Pharmaceuticals Limited versus the Food and Drugs Authority is being reported to the media. Some media reports suggest that the CEO, Dr. Delise Darko, has been negligent in her actions, thus causing the authority to suffer this loss. For the avoidance of doubt, the authority informs the public that this case stems from the actions taken in 2013, we've just heard it here, despite the claims made against the then CEO, Dr. Stephen Opuni, by the applicant Tobinco Pharmaceuticals Limited. The current leadership of the organization have provided a defense to the courts at all material times. The action initiated against the FDA in 2019 has consistently and vigorously been responded to by the FDA. It's page 1. Page 2, the FDA acknowledges the judgment delivered by the High Court. However, the authority respectfully disagrees with the decision and intends to exercise its right to appeal. FDA remains committed to upholding the judicial process and adhering to the rule of law, and will follow the process until the matter is fully resolved. For all inquiries and concerns, please reach out to us through the contacts below. Signed, Chief Executive Officer, Food and Drugs Authority. So yeah, just a clarification for the FDA. So they disagree with the ruling, which is their right, and so they'll take it to court. What's your final word to your stakeholders, your multiple stakeholders who have been following this since 2013?
Yeah. We can't appreciate them enough. Especially the customers and the staff.
Did some run away?
No. In fact, during all those times, we were being paid when we were not working.
How about customers? The customers,
they were embarrassed, but they were still with us. You see, when you are dealing in product that is supposed to be genuine, even in the papers, somebody comes to you that, okay, this product is fake, this product is unregistered, this product is that, and then he's an authority. He's not just any ordinary person. The person will come with police and law enforcement agencies to take out the medicines. But these people, our customers, were still with us. They've been using our medicines, and they know that whatever tag that has been put on this medicine were not accurate.
How many products were affected by this whole action?
In fact, almost all our products. Because there was one product that came, but our warehouses were locked. Products with no regulatory infractions were also locked with it. And then it became, okay, the product that we said they should extend the registration status for us because we were trying to register it here. The registration status has expired. So they will take it also. Those that are pending registration with the same FDA, they will take those products and they will lock it.
If your number crunchers in the accounts department, finance, when they computed the extent of damage, how much did they reckon you had lost because of this action?
There were some issues that were taken out. Other than that, the 16 million that we took to court would have even been more.
Dollars?
Dollars, yes. That we took to court would have even been more. Because we couldn't, account for all of them. For instance, product that we've sent to customers, and then you go to the customers.
You have to report them?
No, the FDA will go to the customers, take those products, and go and burn. The customers, most of them, they buy the product on credit.
Exactly.
So you go to them, they will tell you, the FDA came to take the product.
I can't pay you.
I can't pay you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they can't give you any receipt of those products so that you can add it to the evidence that you are taking to court. The product that FDA themselves took from our warehouses and burned, you can't put accurate figures on them.
Does Tobinco want Dr. Opuni to be punished?
Yes, I think it is not in my CEO's, person. It's not in being.
That's why I asked Tobinco, not Elder.
Yes, Tobinco is the company.
Yes.
Right. So, and it's headed by the CEO. So he's the visionary. So the one who has the vision probably is not into some of these things. But then we should also be able to serve to people who come to public spaces to be a bit more, diligent when they are using the law in their favor. Other than that, there will be so much of this misfeasance and then abuse of power in public spaces. And that should be something that we should be able to prevent.
Imagine your group chairman steps out of here and he meets Dr. Opuni in the corridor. What kind of exchange do you think would happen?
I don't think there will be anything worthy of news or worthy of even notice. They might probably pass by without even noticing that this person was here, this person was here. He's not, should I say, vindictive or something. He's not like that.
Okay. Final word before I let you go.
Yes, I was on the fact of thanking our customers and then even our staff too, who stood with us, and then the church and all those people who...
Which church?
The Church of Pentecost.
Okay.
And all those, from various departments, and then all, walks of life who came to our aid, who supported us, who even on their own took to the media space and campaigned for us. We thank and appreciate all of them.
Okay.
And we thank the CEO of taking this bold decision to go to court and exonerate us.
It's been 11 years, but who knows? There may be another chapter because of the FDA appeal, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, thank
you. Dr. Justice Philip Annan is head of regulatory affairs at Tobinco Pharmaceuticals. I wish you a good weekend.
Thank you, and same to you.
All right. You are watching GTV Breakfast. I wish I could hear that Into the Future song again, but if wishes were horses, beggars will be riding. There are conversations on drama and marital drama. Stick around, don't go anywhere.
Valerie Dan. So across social media, how you can connect with us on our WhatsApp is 055-556-1034. Across social media, we are GTV Ghana. We are settling in for our usual Friday conversations on relationships and how to make, our human interactions better. And none other person than Reverend Anaya. She's in studio. We're going to have a conversation today about the costly mistakes spouses make. Have you made a costly mistake? How did you survive from it? And what are your experiences? Kindly share with us. We'll be opening our phone lines too during our conversation. So welcome. And together, let's welcome Reverend Anaya. Rev, I've missed you.
Oh,
muchos.
You have abandoned me.
No way.
Yes.
I've been traveling. I've been in the Volta.
Really?
So pardon me. I came back yesterday.
Where's all?
Akbe,
yo. It's good to see you.
How have you been?
I was a bit under the weather for a while, but I'm glad to be back.
Yes,
the body is no longer a 30-year-old body. Now it's getting somewhere, So when you go around a bit, you need to give the body the chance to relax and revive.
Yes.
Yeah.
My bosses are listening. When you go around a bit, you have to take a break.
You need to.
Revive. Yes, indeed. Rev, so let's just get into our conversation. So first, what are the common mistakes that spouses make that, we overlook and it tends to have long-term consequences on our marriage and the relationships? What are some of the common mistakes we make?
Good morning to everyone watching GTV from around the world. GTV is still the nation's station. First of all, mistakes can vary from person to person or from couple to couple, because what one couple may term a mistake may not be a mistake with another couple.
Yeah.
So it's all relative to the circumstance, the environment, the couple, and then the actual incident that is being termed a mistake. Because people can even marry today, and the next minute, they say, oh, I made a mistake. I married the wrong person. You understand? So right from the onset, that relationship is founded on a mistake.
Yeah.
Okay? And so you need to have healing in your heart right from the beginning. Otherwise, you are going to torment yourself with that mindset. And every day you see this person that you have thought that you've fallen in love with. You have thought that, oh, this is my spouse. Oh, this is my partner for life.
Yeah.
At least that is what you believed, and that is what made you enter into the relationship. And now, are you going to live with this concept that I have made a mistake from the beginning? So the person sits on a chair in a certain way, you would think it's a mistake. The person brushes the teeth and splashes it on the glass. It is a mistake. The person goes to the shop, and instead of buying a wig, they go and buy some non-existent name. It's a mistake. So now that whole relationship is going to be a torture. It's going to be toxic. Because you have already pre-programmed your mind that the relationship is a mistake. So things that will not appear a mistake to the other couple who are appreciating each other, that, oh, this is the best thing that ever happened to my life. So the couple, you are just even going to sleep in a hut, not even in a concrete building, a mud house. You are happy. You are excited. You don't see any mistake with that. But the person living in a glass house thinks that she has made a mistake or he has made a mistake because from the onset, they are not happy. So I believe that the expectations that begin the relationship and the disappointments that come in will determine the things that the couple classifies as a mistake.
Right.
Yeah, right from the onset.
Okay, right. Here's another one. Is cheating a mistake? Usually when people are caught, they say it was a mistake, it happened. Is it a mistake?
Oh, cheating is not a mistake. Cheating is a character. It's a character.
If it happens once?
Well, many people who indulge themselves in cheating will have all the reasons to represent what motivated them to do it. And you see, I keep telling, especially the ladies who are mostly the victims of cheating, that you see, don't ever feel like you did something wrong. Don't blame yourself when your spouse keeps cheating on you.
Keeps cheating. When
your spouse is a chronic
cheat.
Chronic forever cheat. And the moment he doesn't have a side check, he feels it's not normal. So his whole life, growing up in school, he has more than one girlfriend. Yeah. You know, he's doing his national service, he has more than, he will even go to the extent of trying to date his boss. This is how toxic some guys can get. So the cheating is in his veins. You will take him through deliverance. He will stop for 1 month. It will come back. Because he has indulged himself to believe that it's normal. And it doesn't matter what his mother or father might have done to live a good life for him to see. He might have been following a trend either through friends or through maybe those days social media was not there, but through maybe a movie, a series, some soap opera or something. So for him, even though in his home, he's living with a bishop and his wife, he's living in a home that is a sanctified environment, he still lives in his own world where he has programmed himself to believe that it is okay to cheat. So until this person gets a whole renewal of their mind through the Word of God, it is only the Word of God that can renew your mind so well that you will change. Otherwise,
so basically, cheating cannot be a mistake.
No.
That's what it is.
No. Cheating cannot be a mistake because cheating, about 99% of cheating is conceived.
Yeah.
About 99% of cheating is preconceived. It's only about 1% that can be an accidental thing. Do you understand?
Right.
But because it takes two to tango. If you don't want the man in your life, when he's calling you, why are you answering the phone? I mean, you can't tell me it's a mistake. I don't want to be cheating. And you know that the woman is showing you her legs and her breasts because she wants you. And you are looking. You are looking to the extent of you are accepting the videos she's sending you, the pictures, calling you at all times. Oh, my wife is here. I can't talk. You are condoning to the cheating.
All right.
Otherwise, talk in the presence of your wife. Talk in the presence of your children. So that the person knows that, oh, this man is not interested in my calls.
Right.
Because every time I call, oh, hello. Oh, how are you? Okay, oh, the family is here. Do you want to say hi to my wife? That is a man who doesn't want to tolerate cheating.
Okay.
So don't tell me it's a mistake when you are saying, oh, my wife is here, I can't talk.
Rev, this is for the men. But then in recent times, we've come to know that women are cheaters as well.
They can slay. God, these ladies can slay. And they go to the extent, if they want a man, listen, I've said it on this platform before. Women are better cheats than men. Women are better cheats than men, but men cheat more.
Touché. Yeah.
Women are better cheats than men. a woman can cheat for 20 years, you will never find out. But men cheat more. They cheat more often. It is part of their life. They are from one mother. Except the grace of God finds them, locates them, and embarrasses them with favor. Say hallelujah to that.
Hallelujah.
So I think that women who decide that this is a man I love, but he's not able to satisfy me financially, he's not able to satisfy me sexually, he's not able to satisfy me romantically, emotionally. The moment a woman makes up her mind like that and draws that conclusion, she's looking for someone else.
Or she probably has someone else.
Or she probably has some. You say the friend if you're better nice so. Because if a blind man is saying, if you don't stop what you're doing, I'll throw a stone at you. He's not now going to look for the stone. He already has the foot on the stone. So a woman who starts counting the weaknesses of her husband, you know, the inefficiencies, the setbacks, the things that her husband is unable to do more. Not all about sex, even though it's very important. It's very important. I don't know which woman can live in a marriage without sex.
Thelma Taki says that she would live without sex.
Oh, wow.
Thelma Taki says she's going to...
Thelma, where is she?
She's right there behind you, behind the camera.
Maybe when she goes to heaven and comes back, then she will behave like that.
Okay, so a message I got off my Facebook said that women over 40 are really become very sexually active, and then at that time when they are married and their men are a bit, you know, stressed out from work, that's when the woman is really active, and so that's when women tend to cheat. Is that right? You know these things more than us.
Yes, but it's not 100% full conclusion.
Okay.
Yeah, but if anyone thinks that a woman over 40 is less sexually active than a 25-year-old girl, think again.
No, it's the opposite. Women over 40 are more sexually active.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm endorsing what you said.
Okay.
Yes, if anyone even thinks that because you are over 40, you become less of a sexual...
Your sexual drive is low.
Oh, no. The libido will even increase. I believe that it's all in the mind. Okay. Do you understand? Sexual activeness is all in the mind. And some people find themselves so miserable because they have been around a man who has been saying miserable things to them. And now I bomb. Can't you be a bit active? And can't you do this? And can't you? So they are surrounded with negativity. So it makes it difficult for them to come out until they come across someone who can inspire and motivate them and let them know that, oh, after all, I'm not that bad. But the ladies who are under 40 and they start behaving like they are old. And so now I see younger men going for older women.
Yes.
Younger men are going for older women because, number one, they think the younger ladies demand too much from them. I want an iPhone.
Yep.
I want fried rice. I want data. I want credit. She goes to an older woman who has her own substance. She would rather support him with all those things. So the boys, some of them are very lazy, some of them. So they want comfort. They want comfort. They want to go where...
They want sugar too. They want sugar too.
You are, so, but the point is, relationships are supposed to be a two-way street.
Okay.
Where you are helping and supporting, and I'm helping and supporting, because there are weaknesses in different times. So you need to surround yourself with someone who will be there when you are in your weak moment, because we all have our down times and
up times, yeah.
Up times, and it doesn't. The moment your spouse is on their low point, does not give you any ticket to go and cheat. So I have come across some guys that cheating is in their veins. It's unbelievable. It's like, even when the phone is there, please put the phone down sometimes. They will stay on the phone and they are looking at babes, their body, they are looking at things that they are not supposed to look at. You are opening yourself up. You are introducing yourself to a lifestyle that is very difficult to come out of. And unfortunately, the church is experiencing this. You have people in the church, when preaching is going on, they are looking at babes. You know, they use the excuse that now their phone is, the Bible is on their phone, so they are reading the scripture, and then one day, a camera will pick what you are watching in church. So we have to discipline ourselves and stop making those excuses. I mean, I encourage my church, when I'm preaching or where there's a message coming, I encourage my church that capture it and share, you know, join the Facebook Live and all those things. But you must be a disciplined person. You cannot keep deceiving yourself like that. When you are in an environment where, because it has gone into your head that your wife is sitting next to you, oh, I'm busy. Close fire. So you call it refreshing, but these are the things that will lead you to pornography. You will start it very softly. You will start it very innocently. Mm-hmm. But once you get engulfed into it, it becomes difficult to stop. You can easily get addicted to it. Okay. You understand? Yeah. And then you start giving yourself good reasons why you are looking at it. Oh, it just popped up. Oh, I was reading my message, it just popped up. So you start giving yourself excuses. And now the children are using their parents' phones. So you put your phone down somewhere and your son will go and pick it up. And because these are the things you watch, your son picks it and maybe he's going to make a call to his friend and then the pop-up will come. Ah, this is nice. And then your son becomes more than the father. You know, so you think you are cheating your wife, but you are destroying yourself and eventually you're going to destroy a child. And so just stay away from things that can harm your mental psyche. Right. Stay away because it's difficult to come out once you drop into it. So stick to one woman. Can you stick to one woman? Can you stick to one man? Stick to one man. Stick to one woman. And build a life together. That is what is right.
Right. Yes. So here's another question that somebody sent to us. Is keeping, when you lose the spark in your relationship and you refuse to bring it back, is that a grave mistake you're making in your marriage or your relationship?
The mistake is when you start seeing that something is going wrong and you give a blind eye to it.
Okay.
Most marriages, when they are beginning to fall apart, is the woman who identifies it. Most of the time. There are occasions where a man will see something going wrong. But in most cases, it's the woman who will find it and say, Kofi, you come home very late
these days.
Lately, and I think it's affecting the family. It's affecting the family time. Or then you start giving excuses. Oh, I just got a project that I'm working on. You start giving excuses. But the wife identified that something is going wrong. You know, or maybe, Kofi, now you stay on your phone too long. It never used to be like that. Right. Because when you get home from work, try and put your phone down. And leave that phone, make a cry. Leave the phone to breathe. You will hold the phone in your hand as if your whole life depends on it. Meanwhile, you have a beautiful lady like Valerie sitting next to you. A beautiful lady like Nanaya sitting next to you. And your phone is in your hands. What are you doing on that phone? That is so important. Because once you can get addicted to it.
Okay.
You can easily get addicted to the phone.
Easily.
Easily.
We'll open our phone lines now. Number is 0543-664-264. It's scrolling on our screen right now. Please, if you call us, kindly lower the volume of your TV set. And please keep it brief. Thank you very much. Rev, also back to the question. When there's conflict, how do we couples ensure that they solve it amicably so it won't cost them?
So Bible says, let all things be done in love. So if your husband has offended you, or let's say you have dinner, you are waiting for me. I always eat with my husband. I always wait for him.
Okay.
So I'm blaming him for the weight I'm putting on, because after you come too late and I have to wait for you and eat late, So once you have a reason to wait for your husband for something and he says, I'll be home at 6 p.m.
Okay.
6 p.m. pass, you don't hear from him. 7 p.m. pass, you don't hear from him. 8 p.m. pass, you don't hear from him. And then he shows up at 9:30 and shows up without an apology. So in the first place, you have hurt the woman that you say you love.
Okay.
Because she could have done something better with her life for that 3.5 hours, rather than just sitting there and waiting for you.
Okay.
And if you had easily given her notice, oh, I said I'll come at 6, but it's now 5 p.m. Looking at what I'm doing, I cannot make it
Communication.
at 6. Communication.
Okay.
So let's reschedule what we wanted to do. So you give the woman peace of mind. Then
Right.
she will do something else with her life. So there will be no wahala. But the fact that you keep that information to yourself.
Rev, let's pick Prince's call. Prince is calling us from Wager. Good morning, Prince. Thanks for calling us. How's your Friday?
Good morning, please.
Yes. Please speak up.
Yes, please. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please, I just wanted to share a little idea on what my madam is saying concerning how spouse and everything goes on with the relationship issue. But if we are to look at in the Bible, where God spoke about how a woman is supposed to be submissive to a man, it tells us that as a woman, you should not even have to think about what your man is doing out there or what he's probably going to do, whether cheat or something. But I'm not trying to classify cheating as a good thing, but a woman has to be very submissive to his man. And with that, you have to be holy. Not even thinking that I'm not getting this from my man, so I have to think of another person. Rather, you can confide in him the things that you are lacking. And as a reasonable man and a very sensible person, I'm very sure they'll look for a way to sort that out.
Okay, David, thanks for your call. That's David from Wager. So David is basically saying, as a woman, the Bible says you must be submissive. And so you should not think about what your man is doing outside. He'll come home. Would you agree with him?
Life is not fair, but when you go and tell somebody's daughter that I'm going to live with you for the rest of my life, you are going to be my wife, I'm going to be faithful to you, and I'm going to love you forever. And you tell this to somebody's daughter who also has feelings, but at the same time, you think you can go out there and say the same thing to other women. It doesn't work like that. And the woman definitely is supposed to be submissive according to the word of God, and the man is supposed to love the woman. Be the husband of one woman, one wife, and be the wife of one man. So I hear some women are even married to 2 men. I don't know how they do it. but may God have mercy on all of us, because I think that we are all striving to be like Christ. We are not there yet. We don't know it all. We are all working hard to be like Christ. The mistakes will come. And like I said, cheating, you cannot call cheating a mistake because it's preconceived. And it takes two to cheat. And once the person initiates it and you also accept it, you are both guilty. You cannot blame one person for an incident of cheating. And we shouldn't open up ourselves for that to happen. The moment somebody is making advances to you, it's very easy to make excuses to accept those advances. Oh, my wife doesn't talk to me like that. My wife is not so polite. My wife is not so beautiful. My wife does not do this, does not do that. Then it's giving you a reason. How can you tell me that your wife is not giving you sex, so you are going to go to another woman, when your wife is waiting for you at home?
Rev, let's listen to what Benjamin has to say. Benjamin is joining our conversation from Atebubu. Good morning, Benjamin. What's up? What is your experience?
Good morning. Hello.
Hi, we can hear you, Benjamin. Thank you for calling us.
Yeah.
What's your experience? Yes.
Okay. Please, the woman in your studio, is it a pastor or a counselor, please?
She's both. She's both a reverend and a counselor.
Okay. then I'll go straight to the point. And then I'll mix my speech with English and then P, if you are comfortable, please.
What did you say, Benjamin?
I said I'll mix my speech with English and then P, if you are comfortable with that.
Okay, you don't want to speak on camera. Yes, hold on.
No. I said I will speak in camera, but with English and then P.
Okay, you mix it. That's fine. Yes, that's fine.
Okay. There's a lady that I proposed that I want to marry her, and she told me that he's in a serious relationship, but his parents.
Benjamin, you have to speak up, please, and speak clearly.
Okay, I said
like this.
A woman that. Hello.
Yes, speak like this. Okay.
There's a woman that I wanted to marry, and I proposed to her.
Okay.
And he told me that he's in a serious relationship.
Okay.
So, but her parents doesn't want her to marry her.
Okay.
So I said okay. Then he accepted my proposal, but later on he told me that unless we marry, we cannot do anything sexually.
Okay.
Yeah, but I rather that he's still seeing the guy that he told he cannot marry, and he's separated one in a guy, so he's not seeing her. He's not seeing him, but not knowing that one in a have this thing, but Chile.
Benjamin, yento kasa no, kasa den.
Me say.
Kasa say.
By Chile no. Oko I dem na na waso woni nti ntra I ne ma me parents me pele no. Oko no ho. No but we catch him say he cannot have it until we marry. But not knowing say the guy na no in the no so. One na have it. Actually, you know, but what's one in a so now only know a coffee at a new given point. This lady, is this really still loving or I don't know?
Are you married to her now?
No. We are still in relationship. We are still in courtship.
Patrol, pack your bags, why?
Pack
your bags. Why?
Okay.
Because you better swan kaya shoma.
Okay.
You haven't even committed to her. She hasn't committed to you, and she's looking in one bottle with two eyes. No, she's not ready for marriage.
Right.
Because if she cannot be faithful to you while she's not giving you sex, she's giving the sex to the other guy that she said she doesn't want.
Yeah.
Abba, Benjamin. She doesn't love you. Why?
Okay.
She doesn't love you, and if she's not faithful to you now, when you get married to her, she will do more than what she's doing now.
That's what the parents and so parents.
Oh, Benjamin is in love.
Yeah.
Benjamin, I mean, who say Rabban Openo?
Anyway, the penny.
Kafra. Oba no mpel.
Martin.
Mpel. Why?
Martin.
And whatever her parents are saying, you are not going to marry her parents. Her parents doesn't want her to marry the guy, but her heart is in the guy's house. Yeah. And she goes there to sleep when she's telling you that as for you and I, we are Joseph and Mary.
Yeah.
Until there, I believe that God will, if you start thinking in your heart and your mind that you don't deserve a woman like that, God will make a way for you and you get a woman who will love you and adore you like the king that you are.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Benjamin, thank you so much for your call. He seems very much in love. Yeah. We have a message on our screen and it says, "Good morning, Valeria." Ha! Hey. Ha! Malaria. Ha! Ha! Like, I've heard Valentine, I've heard Valentino, Valencia. Come on, Valeria saying. Okay, he says, good morning, Valeria. Rev, let your ladies and women know that one thing is marriage and another thing is work to protect marriage. Women want the marriage but don't protect it when they get it. And that's God sees all. God sees all. My name is Valerie. Just say Val. Just say Val. Just say Val.
Raymond.
And then this is another one. It says, I like the program very well, madam. Keep the good work doing and may God richly empower you all the time. Rev. So they said women want the marriage and when we get it, we don't protect it. That's from God sees all.
I agree. I agree to God sees all. But it's not only the women. The men too want to be able to walk around and say, I have a wife. I have a wife. Meanwhile, he doesn't want to keep the zip only for the wife. He wants to still eat his cake and still have it. You want to have the ring on your finger to get that respect that rings get, and to get that favor from God that comes when you find a wife. You know, when you find a wife, you find favor from God and from men. Because there are places that when you go and they see that you are a couple or you are married, there is some special recognition behind the mouth. But whenever you go by yourself, so this woman too, won't she marry? You don't know her story. You don't know her story. And I don't think that marriage is a certificate for any woman to go to heaven. We don't marry in heaven. We don't need marriage in heaven. Marriage is only on earth. So if there is a woman who is not married and you are married, please keep your mouth shut and enjoy your marriage. And don't judge that woman because you don't know her story. But the women who want to be married, feel married, keep married, and they still want to be looking at other husbands of other women or other young guys, it's not going to work. So just strike your mind that I'm going in for this man. I see all the young guys around, but I still want to stick my life into this man's hands. And that's it. And God will help you. It's not easy, especially when you come around, like the job that Valerie is doing like this. She goes around, she meets guys, rich ones, poor ones, good-looking ones, and You know, but you have to contain yourself. And you must mature and be principled. And you have to have self-control. I know that I've said it on this platform before. Love is a very expensive investment. Love is the most riskiest investment that you can make because you are falling in love with someone that you are giving your heart to this person. And you end up marrying this person, going to live in the house with this person, and you will be asleep and the person can have a knife standing on you. So you are entrusting your whole life in a stranger's hands. It is the most riskiest venture in the world. Not the investment you do in the bank, but marriage, love is very risky. But at the same time, it's the most fulfilling investment. Because out of love can bring all the happiness of family, all the blessings of childbirth, all the, you know, the joys that you get around fulfilling the scripture and all that. So, you know, the higher the risk, the better the pleasure.
Right. Yeah. Another question coming in, if your spouse or your partner keeps calling you when you're out, where are you? Where are you? Come home. Is it right?
Oh, there is one that is called a monitor. And there is one that is called care and concern. I believe that your wife must know everywhere you are. And with who you are meeting. Not because she wants to monitor you and control you, but because she wants to guide you. No, I mean, no, the fact is that the person that you are going to meet with, eat with, and talk to may be the person who is engineering your kidnapping, the person who is engineering your death, the person who is engineering the poison in your food. So letting your wife know your movement does not mean that your woman is controlling you, and vice versa.
Yeah.
When your husband is asking you, oh, babe, where are you now? Oh, I'm going to Afrikiko. I'm going to Afrikiko. What is happening there? I'll tell you when I get home. No. You must tell your husband, I'm going to meet with Akosua and Abba because we are talking about the business that we started.
Right.
So he has an idea who you're meeting with, what the discussion is about. Maybe it's about money, and the person gets upset and shoots you. So it's not all the checkups that your spouse does that is monitoring.
Okay.
No, control, no.
Right.
No.
Rev, in wrapping up, briefly, in wrapping up, what would you tell people in new marriages who now feel is a mistake and are wishing they didn't get into those marriages? That's the point we are.
That is why we all need to encourage premarital counseling. Premarital counseling will let you know more things about the person that you're going to be with before you get married. And I believe that when you get premarital counseling, it's not guaranteed, but it will help you.
Right.
So I want to encourage everyone, if you don't have a church, come to ABC, Authority Bible Church.
ABC time.
Same old.
Yes, it's at La Palme at 3 p.m. on Sundays, and that's where you need to be to get a wholesome experience. We've been having a conversation today with our relationship coach, Reverend Anaya, and we've been talking relationship issues, and we've had some interesting comments. Thank you to all our callers. The whole conversation is on Facebook again, and do not make those mistakes. My take home today from this conversation is, men, let your women know where you are at all times, and vice versa, period. We are going to the theaters. When we come back into the studio, we have some royalty in here. Greetings. Welcome back into the studio. And after that conversation, we are going into the theaters where Superfarm Network is back with a bang. So this time we are going to the theaters on Saturday and Sunday to watch Our Day Reloaded. It's going to be a lively and humorous exploration of the unpredictability of marriage. So you see, it sort of fuses into the conversation we just had. And in studio, we are going to be talking to director Francis Nutako and actor Mark Pratt in studio right now. So they'll be telling us what to expect on Our Day. Our Day, Our Day. Our Day. Greetings. What's up? So what's with Our Day Reloaded?
It's a Benjamin story.
Benjamin, I called out from a table book.
Yes. Well, so basically, Our Day is everything Reverend Nanaya spoke about.
Okay.
It's a place set at a wedding reception, and it's treating on the topic marriage and relationship, newly wedded couples, what you expect in your marriage, the importance of counseling. Communication, knowing where you know, letting your partner know where you are, and all that Reverend spoke about is basically our script.
Charlie, but so, what inspired this script? That's my point. Experiences, my parts. You get your experience. You know, you are mentioning Benjamin's name, like you have Benjamin's experience. Oh. How did you come up with the script? Like, what inspired it, though?
So, 2 years ago, there was a report that there are a lot of divorces ongoing in Ghana. So that's what inspired the script. Okay. So we felt like, as a theater company, let's do something to also preach that people should stay in their marriage. People should work to make their marriage. People should work to build their marriage. Because, yes, it's important. Okay. You get it. You love somebody, you propose your love to the person, and 3 years later, 2 years later, you're saying you want a divorce. So we felt like, no, let's do a story about this. It's not, marriage is not an easy role. Even in any relationship at all, the relationship with you and your mother, it's not easy like that. Yeah. You need to call her, check up on her, let her know you are doing this project and all that stuff. Left alone, somebody you sleep with every day, wake up by the person. So it's whatever form relationship is, you need to work at it. You need to put in that effort spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially. You need to put that in. So this one motivated us that, let's preach, do not divorce. Stay in this marriage. No matter what happens, you get it. Unless there's some unless
yes, that the Bible somewhere. Yes.
That the Bible talks about, that will be addressed in
another place.
No, in our day.
In our day, no. Okay, so we have from the previous one. There's a small snippet that we want to share with you. Enjoy.
That's Our Day.
This is the old one.
Do you take this man as your lawfully wedded husband?
I, Nakwali, take thee, Fifi Coleman, as my lawfully wedded husband for the next 2 years of my life, renewable under the following conditions: no side chicks, no sports betting, no fufu and palm nut soup on weekends, access to all your social media passwords, as well as your ATM PIN.
What thing? Me be born this summer. Who you ready and go worry? Me side chick now be worry. Showing at the Superfarm Network presents Our Day.
Do you take this?
So the trailer for the new one is out, but I don't know what director Ray is doing. Maybe he wants to show it at the end. But Mark Pratt, who I know you're going to be on stage. Which other people are going to be on stage with you?
Oh, Clemento Suarez, there's Chambers, there's Monica, there's Ifadel, there's Bright. Like a whole lot of people.
What part do you play? Who do you play?
I'm a good friend to the groom, and you see, when you go to weddings, you have to know one person to get food and drinks, and I am the person. Before you get to the food, you have to pass through me. Yes, I am the plug.
Okay.
So if you come and you misbehave, you won't get food. Yes.
Did any side chicks come to the wedding?
Benjamin. You want me to, but you, side chicks are there.
I can't wait.
Yes.
I can't wait. So, what's your favorite line in there, of your favorite part scene?
We have the man.
Oh, why did you say it unanimously?
No, because
we have the man.
The groom and his friends thought they had everything under control, but not knowing they don't have anything under control. And they keep assuring everybody that they have the man, they have the man, they have
But
the
still.
man. But still.
Oh, can you share one chaotic scene with us from the wedding?
A lot of chaos.
Share one with us, please.
So the bride invited her ex to the wedding.
And the ex is, the ex is not just a normal calm ex. This is an ex who feels like he has money more than the guy you're getting married to. Is an ex who you've shared a lot of secrets with.
Okay.
And all that. So he comes to the wedding and, hey, why this one? Why are you sitting on this chair? No, this chair.
But this is wedding.
It's not his wedding.
But he's a sponsor.
That's it. He's a sponsor. This is going to be lovely.
The ex is a sponsor. You get it. So it creates a whole chaos for.
Okay. How much are the tickets going for? Is it too late for early bird too?
Okay. So the ticket is 150.
Okay.
But if you have Benjamin's case, we can do something.
How would you know?
I want Benjamin to come and see this play.
Benjamin from Atebubu, you were a second caller. The whole play apparently is about your story. Yes. So please call us back on the same number. Our producer will pick your call and you have the ticket from Francis and McPratt, okay? Yes. Okay, so 150 Ghana cedis. That's the ticket price. And if you are Benjamin's case.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Where are we watching the play? Where?
National Theatre.
Okay.
Yeah.
When?
Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
4 p.m.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow, Saturday.
And Sunday. Okay.
Yeah. 4 p.m., 8 p.m. each day.
2 plays each day. Wow. How are you going about costing?
Well,
wow, 2 plays. So that's 4 plays in this week.
Yeah, that's 4 plays this weekend. It's a lot of money, but then again, we have understanding cast, and then we have some sponsors supporting us.
Okay.
Star Oil is supporting us, and we are grateful for that.
Right.
And if you come to the play too as well, for those who want discounts, if there's a Star Oil card.
Okay.
If you have that card, you can get a discount on your ticket.
Okay.
So if you have the Star card, you'll get a discount on your ticket. And if you don't have the card too, at the premises too, you can register for the card so that next time you get a discount on a super fun play. Yes. But this weekend at the National Theatre, Saturday, Sunday, first show 4 p.m., second show 8 p.m. If you want a ticket, you can just dial star 447 star 1059 hash. Star 447 star 1059 hash, and then you can purchase a ticket. Come and have fun. It's about relationship, but the entire process you'll be laughing throughout.
Okay.
You'll be laughing throughout until you get back to your car and you'll be like, not miss you, but these people, the issues they are addressing are serious issues.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Okay, so we are going to take a quick break and watch a snippet of what If You Go to the Theatres this weekend for our day is going to be looking like. Enjoy.
It's too expensive. Let's get the 2,000. Even set at 25,000. We will clear this place and fumigate the place. Hey! Second 8,000, second dress. Please, it's expensive. Look at the total. 155,000 cedis. We reduce it to 25,000. You understand?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, we just finished everything. And now it's going to be 20,000.
Oh, you started discussion already?
Yes!
You should have waited. His translator is on his way.
Oh, no, he
doesn't
understood.
understand anything.
When you say that, I don't understand.
What I'm saying is he didn't hear everything you said. His translator is now coming.
This is how he's been looking. How are you? She's still smiling. Can you send me my...
Our day, 17th and 18th August.
Okay, so the rates are going for 150 Ghana cedis. But if you have the Star card, you get a discount.
You get a discount.
Star Oil, please. We want you to come on board to come and watch the play because of you. So, hey, you can mention the numbers again. the code. What's the code?
So the code is star 447 star 1059 hash. Star 447 star 1059 hash. Just dial this code, follow the prompt, and then you get your ticket. Come to the theaters and come and laugh. If your ex is sponsoring your wedding and you're going to look for a wedding planner, that is deaf. He's not down, but he's deaf. You expect your...
There's going to be a lot of drama, eh? Okay, so let me ask you this, Mark Pratt. You're not married, are you married?
I'm not married.
Okay. If you're going out, do you tell your partner everywhere you're going?
It depends on where I'm going.
It depends on where Reverend said you should tell your partner everywhere you are going.
Yes, now I'll do that.
Okay, how about you, Francis? Are you married?
No, I'm not married. I'm in the process.
You're in the process. Hey, which stage? Counseling. Okay, so you have to tell
Home counseling.
Home counseling. You tell your partner everywhere you're going.
It depends.
Okay. So, people, this has been our show. We've been discussing relationship issues. It's going to be happening at our day. All the issues trending in marriages and relationships is our day this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, National Theatre. 2 plays each day, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Tickets are going for a cool 150 Ghana cedis. In studio, we've had Mark Pratt and Francis Nutako. People, this has been our show. See you Monday, bright and early, 555. Hasta la vista, baby.